Good morning, Sunstar, TJ. Yeah, I'm running a little late this morning. I just came back from doing a shift. So we're here. Happy Father's Day to everybody and all you mothers too. I know Joe was over on Johnny's channel. I don't know if he's still going or not or what's going on. I don't think they are. Just a guess. Johnny had his panel going this morning. I think he started about 8 o'clock or 7:30, whatever. Well, it's been cool today, but it's supposed to warm up the rest of this week. We're supposed to be in the 80s and 90s. Oh, looks like it's gonna rain, huh? Good morning, Frank. How you doing? Jonathan says hello to Mario. Yeah, the weather's gonna be on the uprise as far as temperature. Yeah, I know, Frank. They're talking about excessive heat warning. The like I say, I don't know whether Joe is going to join us this morning or not. I know he's it's Father's Day. He said something about his daughter wanted to cook him a meal, or but a lot of people are probably dealing with Father's Day. I would imagine that that's where Justin is, and but I know that some of you like to get on here with me because I was out doing a ship and got back here at about 8:25, and then fired it up right away. We got 6 people watching. We'll see how it goes. We don't know how. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on. I've got nothing planned today. My father and mother are both gone, and I don't have any other family, so which is fine, you know. Yeah, I find the older I get, the more inclined I am to be a hermit. I'm just happy being here doing my thing and not worrying about anything else. Hey, Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan.
You got plenty of family, man. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, and to all the mothers too.
Yeah, in fact, I told my mother Happy Father's Day, even though I do have a father. I don't fool with him too tough. He on a whole different page. But Happy Father's Day to him. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. I know y'all got them.
Well, unless they were a test tube baby, but then they still had somebody had to donate, right?
Yeah, and then this day and age, you might be a father, but
Didn't
wasn't
know
the
it.
biological father. So
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to y'all too. Definitely.
Jonathan, Frank says, "Go blue,
He says, "Do what?
go blue."
Go blue."
Yeah,
I'm lost. What's that mean?
I don't know. I think it's that he's talking about Michigan, U of M, but I
Talking
think
about fishing?
no Michigan.
Oh, Michigan.
I think
Oh,
I'm not sure.
okay.
Hey, Mark White's in the chat. In the chat.
I want to give special thanks to Biggs and Mad Props. I finally got me a United States Drone Society kip
There you go.
and a DJI strap bag. It's nice. Very nice. Thank you, fellas.
And
Mark, what's good?
here comes Ron Lockwood himself.
Paul,
Hey,
Ron.
Mark.
Hey, Paul.
Ron, how you been, man? Happy Father's Day, if you got them.
No, I don't got them, but same to you, buddy. Hey,
Okay.
I am just totally blown away that I have cell service up here, but I wanted to take just 30 seconds and show you guys what I feel is probably the prettiest, most scenic spot in Wyoming. Let me see if I can get my camera turned around. Let me see, how do I do this?
So you're over in Wyoming?
I'm still over in the western side of the state.
You should see a little circle around the camera. Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
there we go. Okay. I'm
Oh,
up
nice.
about 9,000 feet.
Yeah, I'm about to say you in the mountains.
I flew the drone up here. I don't know if you want to put me on full screen.
We can barely hear you, but go ahead and keep talking.
Well, that's because I walked away from the car. Let me get rid of the Bluetooth.
No. The signal's fine. It's just that.
There.
Yeah, your camera signal's fine. We're just losing your audio.
Okay, now.
That's
Oh,
better.
there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
What do
You got your finger. You got your finger on the. There you go.
You're using
There,
the
you want to
wireless
put me on
mic?
full screen, Paul? This
Okay.
is the Wind River. They call it Wind River Gorge. Here, just below Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Oh man, that's
But-
beautiful.
I was flying the drone up here the other day. But it is absolutely gorgeous up here.
It
There's
is.
a big lake down below. The sun's kind of in our face, but I don't know whether you can see the snow-capped mountains there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just got to be careful. There's mama moose and grizzly up here.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. We had a moose walk almost right into the reception last night. But
Wow.
anyhow, just thought I'd show you guys this real quick.
That's nice.
So I'm just taking a little ride this morning just to, I don't know, kill some time, and then I'm going to start my way home. But
How far is it to go home?
about 6 hours.
Wow.
How was
So-
the fishing?
Pardon me?
It wasn't
I was-
fish. It wasn't
I thought
fishing,
you were-
Mark.
I thought you
Oh,
went
fishing was good.
Yeah.
I actually caught a nice, real big brown trout my first cast.
Nice.
That's what.
Let
Hey,
me
Joe.
see here. Camera.
And
Everybody,
Brian,
There we go.
Ron, how did the memorial service go?
Well, they haven't got that decided yet. I'm hopefully going to find that out tonight when I get home. But
You talking about your friend? He finally passed?
yeah.
Oh man. God bless.
Yeah, I was able to hop
From the bride, but her good friend that just started to work with us a couple weeks ago, Amanda, real nice girl. She come up and asked me how he was doing. I said, "Oh, everything's good." She goes, "Ron, don't lie to me because your face tells otherwise."
Yeah.
But anyhow, guys, I don't want to keep you. I just thought I'd show you this real pretty area.
Well, Ron, it was great of you to stop by and show us that.
I don't know how well you could see it on the phone, but
Oh yeah,
God,
We saw it good.
we saw it.
Yeah, it looked good.
It's beautiful out there.
yeah, 46 degrees. A little chilly up here in the mountain. Got the heat on.
68 degrees here.
yeah, it'll be 96 here.
And
Joe
it'll
says
be
that.
97 by 2 o'clock.
Oh, Joe, you got double what I have.
You're right.
Yeah.
yeah, 16, yeah. What this? Echo, what's 16 degrees centigrade in
Got
Fahrenheit?
some real good shots.
16 degrees Celsius is 60.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
61 here.
Did you catch any animals?
No, he's trying to stay away from the bear and the moose.
I'm hoping I see him. Take the photograph. I'm if I
Yeah.
Yeah.
reception last night.
With a zoom lens.
So
Mhm.
was the moose almost came to the reception, or was it the bear?
The moose.
It was
I think he said
Rocky.
moose.
I mean, Bullwinkle.
Bullwinkle.
And Rocky, his buddy, was in the tree.
Rocket was the flying squirrel.
I think we lost Ron. He froze.
I'm about to say, is he there? Where'd he go? Yeah, we lost him. Strictly went there.
Hey, Z. Hey, Jonathan.
Happy
Hey.
Father's Day, Justin. What's up, Joe? Happy Father's Day, Joe, too.
Look, Justin. Look, Jonathan.
What you got there?
It says ship to
What's in that box?
DJI. It says ship to DJI.
Oh, you
Ship
sent it
to
back?
DJI?
Yeah, you know the Avata yesterday. You told me don't try to fly it.
Yeah, you tried it, didn't you?
Oh, you should have seen that son of a gun.
I already knew. I tried to warn you, man. You didn't listen. I
I walked
told you.
outside. Walked outside and opened. I was about 10 feet from the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you press the two buttons and it just starts the motors, right?
Right.
So I kept the goggles off so I could watch it. And I said, well, here's the oh shit button just in case. And
Right.
I said, let's see what's gonna do. Sat there, everything nice and quiet. I go, click, click. It goes, what? Took off, started spinning around like it was an acro. I hit the oh shit button. It went flying sideways, hit the building, broke props, everything.
Okay, so now, hold on. Tell me I didn't tell you that was gonna happen, and I shut up.
Well, I tell you, you know what it was? The motor was bad.
Tell me I didn't tell you that was gonna
You
happen,
told me.
and I will shut up.
So what I did is that went ahead and $29. I got a new one coming.
It's good to see you getting rid of it now while you still can.
I just
You know what? You know what? Again, and by the way, it has not passed anything yet. Still in the house.
Yeah, I told you to just wait it out. We got backup plans, Joe. You ain't got to look. A lot of other people got to rush to get rid of them, but just
I'm
hold
not
on.
getting rid of them.
He's
I'm
holding
not getting
down.
rid of them because, like I said, I'm getting ready to hit the senators now that I know, and I'm gonna tell them take this bill out of the defense bill because this bill is gonna you're gonna lose at least 300,000 jobs.
Well, I don't think walking up and hitting a senator is going to get your point across.
That's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit them with
Yeah,
emails.
I seen the
I'm gonna hit
post.
them with
I seen the
Twitters and
post you put up.
emails, and I'm gonna make sure and I'll call them Monday morning. The ones I know, because there's another one I know. Okay, Kennedy, John Kennedy, I know him. So I'm gonna make sure they know, because if we could just get it to stall in the Senate, or if they say, hey, you got to pull this bill out of this bill, it's not gonna pass on its own. And then it's a defense bill, so they're gonna try to add a whole bunch of money in it anyway. So the Republicans may say, well, we're not gonna pass it with all this money in it, so it might still mess up. So we're good. We're still good. But it's like I said, it's still not out the house yet.
I called up all my buddies
without-
in Senate and I told them just ban anybody named Joe from having a drone. Everybody else is good.
You call the Senate, they come get you. What you talking about?
Yeah, they trace the call. We've been looking for you, boy.
Yeah, they say we're gonna just call him. Just go get him. We don't need to talk to him.
Hey, Joe, I saw your video you put on earlier.
Yeah.
Who had the warped sense of humor to think that putting a TC in front of the name of that river made it sound any better?
Indians, Native Americans.
Yeah, just read what it's called without the T and the C at the beginning.
It don't matter.
What's the TC stand for?
It's Tchefuncte River.
Except it's spelled TC. He fucked her.
Oh, for fuck's.
That's strange. That's strange. But yeah, and they gonna do what they gonna do, man. Like I said, we all gonna find something else to do. Me, I'm gonna go get an Xbox and jump on there with Justin and Tim and take over. That's what we do.
How late were you on last night, Justin?
I think like 12:30.
They just got off. What are you talking about?
Well, that's between him and his wife. I'm talking about the show.
Clapping cheeks on that game all last night.
In fact, I fell asleep watching y'all. It was you, Jason, Tim, Lola, somebody else.
It was Me, Jason, Tim. Who else was with
Lola,
us last night?
Lola,
Laura played a little bit.
Laura played too.
No, Lola
Laura
never
was
came
playing?
in.
Oh, she didn't come in?
Nah. She was in the chat, but she never came into the.
Yeah, Lil Llama was playing with him.
I gave up and went to bed after Art finished.
Okay.
Well, it was after morning, so
What time was it there when you went to bed?
2:30, 3:00, something like that.
Wow. That is late.
Yeah, their time is different than ours.
Not quite as late as it will be if I stay on Bills till the end tonight. It'll be like 6:00 in the morning when he finishes.
Uncle Bill?
Yeah. He don't start until 3:00 in the morning our time.
Which is what? That's what, 9 our time, 10 our time, something like
10
that.
o'clock, doesn't he start?
Yeah,
10
10.
Eastern.
O'clock Eastern.
Mhm.
Yeah, I probably won't be on tonight.
Well, you got,
might be
isn't
lurking,
your,
but-
isn't your daughter cooking you dinner or something?
Yeah, I don't want to go over there.
I like Bill, but there's somebody on his channel that I can't stand that's on his panel every week, so I don't watch it anymore.
I'm not on it every week.
He's going on a lot more panels recently. If I'm guessing the right person. From Philadelphia.
Yeah. He's
Hmm?
not on Bill's panel. Philadelphia.
No, not Mikey.
Nah, he ain't talking about Mikey.
I don't know
You ain't talking about
anybody from
Mikey.
Philadelphia besides Mikey. I can
Yeah,
think
you
of.
do. he just ain't hit your mind yet, but you do. I know exactly what Mark talking about.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to speak on it, Mark. Don't do it to me, man. I'm trying to leave it alone. I swear I am.
Yeah, we can leave it where it's at.
Ooh-wee.
The same kind or similar sounding name to
Yeah, leave it alone.
Mudball.
Trust me, it's gonna surface. To who?
Mudball.
No,
I
you
like
ain't talking about.
Donald.
Mudball's
Donald?
real name.
Oh, not Donald, but I guess it's kind of close.
Yeah, well, it just starts with a different letter, that's all.
Yeah, I see where you at.
Ronald?
No,
It
it's a more unusual name. I don't think there's anybody else on the whole
Dick-
place that's got the same name.
Put that way.
Dickhead?
Close.
Okay, go
No,
get him,
Joe
Frank.
said he wasn't on every week.
I'm not on every week.
He was on Art night as well. And I think he was on Joe. Wasn't he on Johnny's this morning as well?
I couldn't tell you.
You got a duck.
I couldn't tell you. I'm
Might
just
not be
not.
the big one, but you got a duck.
You can't put that on top of your drone, man. It look too heavy.
But yeah, he
Oh,
is
dude,
on
this
Mike.
keyboard
He
is
is on
Like,
massive.
Mikey's
there's
channel.
a little
Well,
one. There's a little one.
Yeah, I got little ones. I got little ones for the drum.
God, this
See
keyboard is
that when I
massive.
flew it that one day, the first time I put the Pelican on it, I had a little Pelican on it, and it stuck up a little bit higher. So I think I'm not gonna put anything back on it.
It's gross.
What, man? I'm over here. Come on. Meow.
I
Meow.
wish I would have brought the. I wish I'd have brought the action cam out though and videoed that thing take off, because it was doing acro and it was doing all kind of flips.
Yeah, you should have recorded that, knowing that
Uh,
something might have happened.
Dominic doesn't really come on the morning streams because it's kind of late for him. Dan.
Yeah,
He usually doesn't make the morning streams very often.
Dominic. Yeah,
Yeah, because
it's almost midnight there.
Yeah, he's usually in bed by like 10 o'clock, so the only time he usually makes them is if he's can't be sleeping or something and then stays up. He's having trouble sleeping or something.
He was on earlier, but he's not on no more. He done logged out.
He doesn't usually make the morning streams too often.
Lance
Every
had an
couple
issue
months he
too.
might make one.
He did?
Yeah, he had an issue with Air 2S.
No, what happened?
He said he
He
had a
flew
quick
it?
shot. I'll put it on and try to figure it out. He's got the
I mean-
video up.
I mean, it's Lance. He turned the drone on.
Hey, John, hey, Justin, at least he has a drone.
Just has a drone. He's always droning on.
Hi, David.
David, how's it going, buddy?
Good, good, good. Got 3D printing up on that.
How's the weather? Did Laura stop charging batteries and the weather got better or what?
She put the drone back in his bag, put it back in the cupboard, and the sun has come out, and we are happy in 22 degrees and sunshine.
Oh,
It was
Wow.
absolutely
wow.
throwing it down all morning, and this afternoon now it's actually sunny and 16 here.
David was good.
Yeah, he
Everything's
had an
always
issue.
good with David.
We're all getting ready for the football.
Oh, what time's the
Football.
Are you going or just
No,
watching?
Just watching.
Okay.
No, it's the European football
Soccer.
countries. Yeah,
Yeah, the flags are out, and we're all ready.
it's all the European countries playing in a bit like the World Cup, only just for Europe.
Yeah, they have similar over there, but I think it's the traffic CONCACAF Cup or something. Which is like America and the
Canada,
all the
South American countries.
and then there's an Asia one which Australia are in. Because technically, even though Australia is its own continent, it'd be pointless having its own tournament. It'd only be them in New Zealand, innit?
And Tasmania.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, he was the Lady Washington. He was doing a quick shot orbit around it, and it started to go around. It got about 1/3 of the way in, and it just started doing spins.
Oh. Hey, Joe.
I'm telling you,
Can you see that, Joe?
yeah, that's nice.
You notice how many issues there's been?
I didn't go and get it because I was sitting on my ass here at 5:30 this morning.
Seems like there's been a lot of flyaways and problems last couple of days with people. You
That's
notice
what
that?
I was getting ready to say. Something's going on.
With the
And Justin-
virus.
Laura said, check your messages.
Yeah. All on the return to home, all going back to China.
With the best drone DJ ever made.
That is true though.
Oh.
A lot of people have had crashes the last couple of days. Seems like. They've had disconnects.
And something going on with that last update.
Ain't nothing going on with that update. Something going on with the government. There's gonna be a whole lot more crashes. It's gonna be a record-breaking event.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's got me skeptical of putting them up right now.
What's that?
I don't want to put them up right now.
But
He's a little gun shy.
I'm getting really gun shy with it.
what?
You know, I've never lost signals like I've lost it the last couple of flights. Now the one I hit the pole, that was all the pole and me. You know,
that
if
last one is you too, because you knew you shouldn't have did that. Yeah.
well, if I'd have turned around right there and come straight back, I might have lost it over water. You know.
No, I'm talking about the last flight when you went to see if it was still gonna work right. I
No,
told you
no,
Oh,
put
yeah,
that thing in the
that one, I
box.
guarantee
I
it.
told you put it in the box. You was like, no, I'm gonna see if it worked. Okay.
Hey, it was starting up and it was doing good here. It didn't do the same thing it did outside. Here, I put
You
my
want-
hand on it and I pressed it, and it's starting to be all right. Soon
And
as I
you
went
had to
click,
hold
click,
it so it didn't go haywire, right?
but after I did it the first time, that was when I
Yeah.
hit it 3 times. After that, when I hit it twice, I started it like 10 times, and it worked perfect, just like it was supposed to. When I went out there and hit it twice, that sucker went everywhere it wanted to go.
check your signal power output.
Well,
See
no, what it was if
see
you
if
remember, Mark,
DJI have limited the power to the same as ours.
well,
No, everything was
Not a
fine.
spike.
after he got it, Mark, he said he had to screw with one of the motors because it wasn't centered.
Yeah, it was
and
was
popped
leaning on
back
one
in
side a
place,
little bit.
Yeah,
and
the
no.
props are
Yeah.
swinging on they were cutting across the guards, which and right then
Yeah.
and there,
No.
Joe, you knew, man. You wasn't supposed to put that thing in the air. If you could take it with your finger and move it back into place, that means showing up. If it's in the air, it's gonna shift back out of place.
Yeah. Well, it didn't. It took a lot to move it, though. So I don't know. I know it's broke. Hey, $29. Care refresh. It comes back. As soon as they get it, I'll get a new one. They told me if I wanted to put a hold on the cord, they send it out right away. And I said, I'm not in a hurry. You know. So I'll send it out tomorrow, and I'll get it back next week.
Yeah, it don't take long.
Well, it's right here, Fort Worth, Texas, 7-hour drive from here. So it could.
All right, yeah.
It'll
Yours
be
is a little.
a 2-day there, 2-day back. I might get it like the weekend on Monday at the latest. Next
Actually,
Monday.
it's probably just as far as me sending stuff away, because ours
Yeah.
goes to Holland, and it's probably as far as it is from you to Texas as it is from me to Holland.
Yeah, if I remember the Air to Us, I sent it on a Wednesday and I got it back on a Tuesday. The weekend held me up a couple of days. So if I send it Monday, they'll have it by Wednesday. They'll ship it Wednesday. I might have it back Friday.
Yeah, you got it back next week.
Yeah, he's nowhere near Orlando, TJ. He's on like the opposite coast. I'm
What are
in
you
between
doing?
Orlando and Tampa, and it's about an hour and 20-minute drive each one. Either way.
Hey,
He's near New Orleans, TJ.
Actually, I can get to Orlando in 45 minutes at like 3 in the morning when there's nobody on the roads. I can get there really quick.
Justin, how is Venice, Florida doing?
I have no idea why.
Let's see.
Well, you know, all the floods down there. It's like Venice, it's like
I don't know.
in the water.
It's just like you guys. I'm nowhere near there, so it doesn't affect me, so I ain't been paying attention to it.
Well, I mean, they've got Venice Beach in Miami, haven't they? So, you know.
Not really in a flood prone area, so we don't ever really get those problems. Southern Florida is the one that usually gets a lot of flooding. Biggest thing we have to worry about is sinkhole swallowing your household.
Yeah.
It's because fucking Florida's on top of nothing but damn limestone.
Well, limestone's pretty solid.
Well, what happens is there's you get water caverns inside of it, and then over time it eats away at it, and then that's what can cause the sinkholes. There was one neighborhood that was brand fucking new, all new houses, and then half the neighborhood got swallowed up within the first couple years, and then all these people the developers started having got a huge class action lawsuit against them. Because honestly, they should be ground penetrating radar all the ground around any new place that's being built to check for that. They should be doing that.
Could you imagine? You go to work, you come home, and you're like, my fucking house was here this morning.
Yeah.
You call the cops, somebody stole my house. They're like, what?
Yeah.
that colour, that
We lost her, didn't she, because of the water? I think
Well, that's,
it was erosion from a stream or something near to her house. Similar, but not quite the same.
well, the North Sea is taken off thingy. I mean, Doggers Bay used to be there. That's gone.
well, the main problem with southern Florida is there's a lot of it that's way below sea level, so they have the same problem Louisiana has. Like Miami, a lot of Miami's below sea level, and that's why in some areas, as they have torn things down and rebuilt it, they've actually raised the ground up, like brought in shit tons of dirt and tried to raise it up a few feet to get it a little higher,
Mm.
because they're trying to counteract all the flooding down there. So in areas where they've rebuilt, they've done that. They've brought the ground up some. They tried to bring it up anywhere between 2 to 5 feet.
Right. It's got too much water. Why can't we use some of these test rockets to send it into outer space?
Should start shipping, we need to build a pipeline to the moon so we can start pumping water up there.
Yeah.
Right.
Elon's
but-
already working on it.
We need to put water back in the canals on Mars.
Well, the problem with Elon is he wants to go to Mars, and I'm like, dude, you should really be trying for the moon and use that as a jump off point. Like that should be the main
That's
area
where
of practice.
That's where the fly through should be, shouldn't it? On the moon.
Well, I'm saying like that's like the closest and safest place to practice on. That's where you should be practicing. And then once you perfect, setting up a base or a moon or, a space base or whatever you want to call it. Once you perfect that and you get the equipment perfected and everything, then you start jumping to other planets like Mars. And because you got to think, dude, Mars is like a 9-month trip each way. Dude, once you get out there, you're screwed if something happens.
Why can't we
Like-
make that whole planet?
Yeah, well, they
I have
got
a-
that new. They're supposed to be developing that new rocket drive that will get them to Mars in a couple of weeks instead of months.
But I have this feeling that if humanity ever breaks off and starts colonizing other planets, they're just going to have their own like revolutionary war, and then it's going to be like Earth versus Mars. You are,
Space
because
wars.
it is, because people on Mars are going to become their own, culture and their own thing, and then they're not going to want to listen to what people on Earth are saying, and then you're going to have a fucking interstellar war. It's exactly what's
They
going to
better-
happen.
They
You know
better
this
quit
is going to
messing with the
happen.
moon though. Because
Like I
they
said,
got those alien bases inside,
Well, I'm saying, that's going to happen, whether that's in 200 years or 1,000 years. That's exactly what's going to happen. People on one planet aren't going to want to listen to another one.
Yes.
They're going to revolt, become their own planet and their own thing. And
War
Yeah.
of the worlds.
it's going to be planet versus planet instead of country versus country.
Sounds
when
like
they landed on the moon the first time, the aliens hovered out there because they said, we'll let you land on it, but you can't go digging around because we're not going to show you our bases under the ground.
Because like I said, if you put humans on a whole nother planet and then they thrive there and they end up living there for generations, they're going to start to create their own culture. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to feel like they're from Earth. They're going to feel like they're from there. They're not going to line up with the same, and eventually they might not line up with the same values as people on Earth,
Same values, same laws, same rules, all of that. Makes sense.
Right. So they end up becoming their own thing. They have their own Boston Tea Party. And shit happens,
Got a point there.
someone's
And
been,
then 200 years later, they're best friends.
someone's been watching too many movies.
Hey, a lot of things we seen in the movies from back in the old days, we actually seeing now.
But I'm saying, if you look at history, though, that's happened with just countries expanding out to other countries. Like when Britain came to the US, what happened? They had a revolutionary war. People here started having their own values, their own way of thinking. They didn't want to do what the crown said. They got into a fight and they separated. What's to say that I mean, that's just pretty much it's gonna play out the same way, I guarantee it.
Yep.
It might not be right away, but it's gonna be after 2 or 3 generations end up growing up on another planet. They're gonna be like, why the fuck are we listening to these yahoos over on Earth?
Yeah, you're right. About 2-3 generations, shit, you're gonna have people that's literally born on Mars. Their family was born on Mars. They're gonna be like, we don't mess with Earth. We don't mess with Earth. They don't do nothing but tear the planet up and kill each other. So yeah, it makes sense.
I can just wait for it. We're gonna have to build a wall to stop them coming from Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, a space wall.
There'll be a book written by Elon Musk. That'll be God to them. Yeah.
I think Elon just needs to give Sheldon Cooper his book back.
I just love his motivation though. Like most billionaires just kind of sit back and yeah, he's on a whole different level of motivation.
Yeah, he's actually
And
trying
he
to do
doesn't
something.
he doesn't act like a typical billionaire. Like I said, he doesn't have a $100 million yacht. He doesn't have 14 mansions. Like he doesn't have any of that stuff. He just drives this Tesla and he lives in a little $250,000 house. Like an everyday person's house, you know? And it's right off I think it's right on the same facility property as SpaceX. And it's just a little modest, like 3-4 bedroom home.
With 17 stories below ground.
Oh, well,
Hey.
he's, you know, he's a little bit like, what did I say? He's the real life, what was Iron Man's name? Tony Stark.
Tony
He's the real life
Stark.
Tony Stark.
Right. You know what? I never even thought about it like that, but you're right. That's our real life Tony Stark right there.
Yeah, but he lived in a mountain.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying his drive though, because in the movie in Iron Man, you know, Tony Stark was very driven and was all about the latest tech and really pushing it. And that's the way Elon is. Like I said, if you look at like all the other billionaires that are trying to do space shit like Branson and Bezos, they're really just trying to build little spaceships that they can take tourists up in. They're not really trying to build spacesuits and rockets, and they're not really jumping into the space thing like Elon is. Elon's like jumping into the whole thing, like the whole pie, you know, he's taking on everything. I want to build a satellite system. I want to build a spaceship. I want to build this. I want to go to Mars. Like he's just on a whole different level of space travel. The other guys are just trying to build little touristy fucking jets that they can take you up in the upper atmosphere, or, you know, ride into the edge of space, charge you 40 grand for a ticket.
Elon Musk, like David Bowie in the man who fell to Earth.
You got to figure if he gets it right, right? If he gets it right, and we have, you know, like real live space stations and all that, like Star Trek and all that, then everybody else who's made something that pertains to it is going to end up linking up with him.
Well, here's another thing for you to think of. What
Yeah,
happens
what's up, Mike?
what happens if all these millionaires with all the money that want to do space stuff and everything haven't traveled back in time and back here messing with us?
What do you mean?
Donald, go. I feel like this is a
You try to say that Elon Musk is a time
Happy
traveler.
Father's
from
Day,
the future.
Donald.
Exactly.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Donald.
You've already proved time travel is not possible and nor is teleporting.
Who's proved what? There was the same thing you could say 100 years ago.
No,
there is no such thing as space travel.
The current theory in the science community is that you can travel back in time, but you wouldn't be able to go into the future. You can travel back at any point behind you.
Wrong. We can already travel into the future. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, 1 second at a time.
Oh, because you're 5 seconds ahead of the YouTube feed?
No, now I'm in the future. Now I'm even more in the future.
Oh, for
Hey.
fuck's sake.
In a second, I'm going to be in the future. Hey, I'm here. We already travel forward in time.
Well, then
That's how
tell me
it
what the
works.
damn lotto numbers are 2 years from now, damn
We
it.
can already travel into the future faster as well if you go with theory of relativity, that if you go at a high speed relative to the stationary place, you can age slower. So when everybody else moves faster, so they're going forward, you're going slower. So then when you rejoin, say, Earth, so if you went out and approached light speed and then came back to Earth, everybody else would have aged while you stayed younger. You wouldn't have aged as much.
And you can always travel faster into the future just by traveling east.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like something the Kardashians would be interested in.
But in reality, the future time travel we're talking about is not physically possible, nor is traveling back in time. Because if you can travel back in time, no matter what you do, you're changing history. Just by going back in time, you're changing history. And you end up in an infinite loop.
Yeah, I mean, me and David are already in the
All right.
future.
All right, I'm going to show you guys something real quick here, and I just
here
have
we
to
go.
show you this. This is my coffee. That is how much. See how close it is to the rim.
Yeah.
That's how much coffee I've had for the entire day so far. I'm not really prepared for this conversation, so I'm just gonna listen.
Drink up.
Oh,
Drink
damn.
up.
Okay. I have to concur. I'd have
the
to.
local tourist boat right there.
I totally have to believe him on this because I was waiting for some smart ass comment and nothing came. So yeah, he's definitely not prepared this morning.
I'm like,
There's the local tourist boat
He needs a half cup in order to deal with our stupidity.
going up.
I should have made myself like a shot of espresso or something, just to jumpstart this coffee. But
Okay, we'll go back in time, redo it, make it for an espresso.
Right.
hey guys, what are we talking about today? We want to talk about temporal mechanics.
Or no, I think
Oh, God.
Justin called the
I
topic
sure did
of the
enjoy
day-
that espresso I made a while ago.
Now, Justin called the topic of the day as why doesn't everybody have a dune buggy?
Why
I
doesn't
don't live
everybody?
near the beach.
Because there are people who are smarter than me.
Well, you're
If
gonna go
anybody
back in
says,
time
"Hey,
and
I want to
stop
buy
yourself?
a dune," yeah, I would stop myself.
oh,
Well, however the hell you just did the espresso thing, I think you should try that on the buggy thing. Just walk backwards for like the next 2 hours and see if that helps.
Rewind.
Just do everything you did in the past 2 hours, just do
That's
backwards.
funny.
Well, if anybody ever watched Saved by the Bell,
Yes.
he used to time out. I don't think he ever backed up time, but he did do his timeout a lot, and everybody would freeze.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah. So he could do his little monologue at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Justin, the reason
remember.
Elon Musk can have such a humble
Screech.
home is because he's got the money that he can stay in the best hotel every single night and not have to worry about anything. And so wherever he goes, he has the creature comforts. He can just pay for those creature comforts that most of us have to cultivate and build in our homes.
Right.
And so
Makes sense.
the only thing he really needs a home for is to get little place of solitude of self, where he can. So, and that you don't need a large home. In fact, a
Well,
large
that's what
home
I'm
I think would
saying.
be
He's not
detrimental
flashy.
to
Right.
centered.
And that's why,
Yeah,
but
to
that's
get
why I
yourself
get-
centered. I think a large home would be detrimental to getting yourself centered like that. So he has a small home so he can have a place that he can go to and just kind of center himself, and then the rest of the world is pretty much his for a price.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I give it to him because he's not flashy. He doesn't waste money on a lot
Oh,
of
you
shit
don't
that
know.
other billionaires do.
He may
don't
not
buy
buy
DJI
stuff,
drones.
but
Wait.
does he
Except for his
spend the money?
$40 billion flex on Twitter, yeah.
Yeah. He was like,
I'm waiting
And-
for him to buy Disney next.
And I don't know what he does day to day. How does he eat? How does he live? Where does he stay when he travels? I don't. He might be flexing all the time that you don't see.
Well, I'm just
It's just
saying
not.
he doesn't.
It's just not. He's not buying those permanent material things because he doesn't need to purchase those
Well,
material
he
things.
says he doesn't like them though. He doesn't like to buy stuff like that. He doesn't feel like he needs it.
Right, because he
said
can
that
spend the
in
money to
numerous
use the.
interviews.
He can spend the money to use other people's material
somebody-
things whenever he wants.
Somebody asked him in an interview I was watching the other day. They said, "So how much is it per rocket launch?" He said, "About 60 to 100 million." The dude's mouth dropped. He goes, "Holy fuck!" Elon just said it like it was nothing. He was like, 60, 100 million.
Yeah, but it's not like the money is being just turned into rocket fuel. That money is going to pay all of those people who are monitoring the rockets, who are building the rockets, fueling
Oh
the
yeah,
rockets.
yeah. That's what he was
Yeah.
asking. Like, what's the total cost to have it launched and everybody there? And he said,
If I
anywhere
had that
between
much money,
60
I would be making the craziest ass. If I had his money, I would be making the craziest ass art projects all over the place. And just get people, just pay people to do just crazy shit. It'd be putting money back into the economy and just I would be throwing just the craziest parties. Okay, everybody shows
Oh,
up.
so
I'm gonna
you'd
pay
be-
people to show. I'm gonna pay people to show up to this farm in the middle of nowhere. It will be just a paid. I'm gonna pay you to come here, and then we're all gonna dance around, wearing bunny rabbit ears in this field
Hold
for
on,
3 hours.
What movie was that Leonardo DiCaprio played in? Where he lived in the mansion and he was always throwing the parties.
The Aviator? Oh no, The Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby. That's exactly what reminded me when you said that.
I would, but he was doing that for social status. I would want to put because I
But the
love.
premise would be the same, just
Yeah, the
not
premise would be the
why
same.
you're
If I
doing it.
if I had his money and I just didn't know what to do with it, I would spend my time trying to make the world just a little bit more weird because we all love when the world is a little bit more weird. And we all love those moments that we get to be involved in something a little weird. I think.
If I had his money, I'd buy DJI.
Yeah, that's what I sent him a text message a little while ago. So why don't you buy a DJI so we won't get banned?
Right. Buy DJI.
Dude, as much as he spent on Twitter, dude, DJI would be a drop in the bucket. Because
Right.
that company's only worth, I think, what, like 9 billion, and by today's standards, that's actually a very small company.
Look, and they got flight technology that he could use. So yeah. Buy DJI.
I'll give you another reason why you don't buy DJI. Because they're Chinese. And the moment you sell it, they're copying it and recreating it. There'll be another company in seconds.
Oh, he hates China anyway. He's not a big fan of China. No, I just want to be like Elon and just be able to purchase a company for 40 billion and not even think twice about it.
I play Fortnite on.
Like I said, I hope he buys Disney next. I'd love for him to buy Disney.
Yeah, I'm betting just that you just want one of them big cyclone computers packed in your back shed.
When he told the CEO of Disney to fuck off on stage in those exact words, I was like, holy shit. I was like, that's when you know you got money and you're at the top.
He literally has fuck you money.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, when you could spend like $500 million on a yacht and not think twice about it, yeah, that's fuck you money right there.
Meanwhile, most of us just want a bit of money to be able to live off without having to worry about bills.
Hey, he's the only billionaire I'd actually want for him to keep his money, because I think he's doing good with it. He's dumping a lot of it into science, which is, I think, a good thing.
I mean, I'd like to be a social project. Just say, right, David, I'm going to give you £4 million. You must live off that for the rest of your life, and you're not allowed to claim benefits. You're not allowed to do anything. You're not allowed to make any money. That's it. So you got to live off. Social experiment. I'd be happy with that.
But like I said, like he could go out and spend $100 million on a yacht that he could get numerous years of use out of, or he can spend $100 million on one rocket launch and learn a little bit of science from it. That's why I said that's why I give it to him. He spends a lot of money on science, which is awesome.
Okay, then we have the other thing. Could he defeat Johnny English? Because in one of the Johnny English films, the guy that owns the .com is actually based on Elon Musk. But Johnny English takes him down.
Although Tony Stark was a little flashy. I mean, he did have a big house, but he also had a
big
lot.
car.
But he did have a lot of what do you want to say, like
Servants.
well, he had a lot of like scientific shit in his house, like a lot of experimenting he was doing. Like it wasn't just
a lot of inventions. Yeah,
yeah.
His downstairs was basically like his lab.
Yeah, he had a lot of laboratory area in his house where he was working in the movies.
Having the downstairs as a lab.
Say again, David?
Isn't that like most men, having their downstairs as a lab?
Well,
Yeah,
laboratory.
yes.
I'm pretty sure I don't
Is
have to.
downstairs a euphemism for their penis?
Correct.
Okay, I caught on.
Yeah, I missed that one. You got me.
You must have enough coffee in you now.
He's primed and ready.
I'm still learning down there. I'm trying to figure out what that little bag thing is down there.
Oh,
Out the fountain, go down the street.
If you can tug it and pull it and twist it just right, you can make it look like a snail carrying its house around.
Wow.
I don't want to know how you know that.
You've never heard that?
No, but I can picture it now, unfortunately.
I didn't make that up, and I've never done it. But
I started
But you
watching
know-
the video
but you-
real
but
quick
you know
just to
about
make
it.
sure I didn't picture.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, you too,
But
Lance.
you know about it. Okay.
I don't want to know how you know that.
You've never heard that?
Oh, you got YouTube on, Jonathan.
picture it now, unfortunately.
I
didn't make that up, and I've never done it.
Jonathan, you got YouTube
Jonathan,
Oh, I'm
reach
sorry.
YouTube.
And
I called myself looking at the chat on my other phone.
No, it's just, no. Your testicles are sandbags to keep water out of your bum.
Your testicles are not sandbags. Sandbags don't float when you take a bubble bath.
okay,
True.
I'm gonna put you
Well,
to
so they're more of a flotation device, then.
Wait a minute.
just in time.
Hold on. You just melted Jonathan's brain. Hold
How
on,
do
give him
you,
a
how
minute.
do you know your testicles float in the bathtub?
Yeah, I'm just going to say I can't say as I've noticed that.
Donald,
Don't float. I just made that up.
Donald,
You people take shit so literally.
Why, hey,
Hell, you mean you people?
What goes on in the bathroom with you and the wife is between
don't
you
make
and
me
the
stop you people. Right. Donald, now we need to know, do you have a book on this on your magical book?
Jonathan is so stunned right now. He doesn't know what to say. Look at him.
For everybody's
I'm trying, you know, listen.
I'm just letting everybody know I don't actually
you got a lot of baths and showers to think through. I'm trying to think if they ever floated. I don't recall that.
I'll be honest, I don't take baths, I take showers. I don't think I've taken a bath since I was a teenager, maybe.
Float.
Okay. Now go to your magical bookshelf and see.
I could just see Jonathan later.
All right.
teabagging a bathtub.
What is the topic I'm looking? What is the topic I'm looking up? Testicles.
He's gonna be over the kitchen sink teabagging it to see if they float or not.
Why won't you come up, damn it?
Oh, teabag.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
Jonathan, I can
There
picture
you
Jonathan just sitting in a bubble bath now. It's like, okay, or sitting in a bathtub just staring, why isn't mine floating? Maybe I need more bubbles. And then he gets his bubble bath in there, his little happy bubble bath, and it's
You
still
gotta put
not
Epsom
floating.
salt in there.
Yeah, that's it. You need to.
Oh Lord.
You need to make it like the Dead Sea in there. Then it'll float.
Brings a whole new meaning to the word
Well, that's when you're in there with the wife and she knows that it's a Dead Sea because it doesn't float.
Yeah.
Donald, I will never test that theory.
You can be out there spraying it with the hose and be like a speed bag.
All right. So what am I looking on my bookshelf for?
Dr. Rena Malik.
Shapes you can make with your feet.
I think you stumped him.
No, I do not. I do not have.
Penis origami.
Hey, I don't have anything on that, but I have seen Puppetry of the Penis. Have you guys ever seen Puppetry of the Penis?
No.
Really?
We're not as learned as you.
It was a stage show.
Was it like the donkey shows down in Mexico?
It was a couple of guys who would come out and they would do weird shit with their junk.
Oh.
Well, that brings a whole new thought to the vagina monologues.
It was Puppetry of the Penis is a comedic live performance art show featuring a series of genital contortions. The show is
Lord help.
initially conceived as the title of a highbrow art calendar released by Australian Simon Morley in 1996.
I knew it was the Australians. Only they would do
So-
something stupid like that.
If you want to go to let's see, it looks like Vegas.
What was the name of it?
Here, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. All right, Cool Cat knows what Puppetry of the Penis is. It sounds like it's like a sex show, and it does involve men's junk, and it's something that you'd be like, oh, that's not something. But it is actually kind of the bits I've seen. The bits I've seen is what was funny.
The bits you've seen?
Is it on YouTube?
I don't know. I'm gonna see.
You might be able to find some clips on YouTube.
Be honest, I don't want that in my YouTube algorithm.
I put the link for the Vegas show.
It is, but it's like they got shit over it, so you can't see what they're doing.
All right.
It's $41 if you want to go. Actually, they have here. There's actually a live show for Ticketmaster. It gives you there you go in the chat, a link. It gives you a list of all their shows coming up and everything.
Yeah. If you are going to the Vegas drone show or drone meetup. If
Oh my
I was
God.
going to the Vegas if I was going to the Vegas drone
Stuff,
meetup,
Daryl.
I would definitely want to take in Puppetry of the Penis as a
Cool
live show.
Cat said my girlfriend isn't into it as much as I am, it turns out.
Oh, just reading too.
Oh, they have photos and videos.
Now, Michael, when you were at this show, did you tend to notice you smiled more looking at the penises?
Oh,
Nothing
Lord
wrong
help.
with that. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
You might be confused. You might have been on the wrong side of the fence this whole time.
And Justin can't use that asking for a friend. Like,
It's just
I tried out for Chippendales, but I outperformed a Mike, and so they said you have to go. Just like when I was going to get casted for a Magic Mike, they were like, "Yeah, you're out doing Channing Tatum, so you got to go." I was like, "All right."
David tried out for Chippendales. They directed him to Fish and Chips.
Arthur Treacher's? Oh man, I missed that restaurant. What? Nobody remembers Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips?
I
I'm
don't
the
Arthur
only one?
Treacher's. I know the name. I don't think I ever ate there.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Daryl, the one
That's-
reason I
that's-
don't. Hold on,
Yeah,
let me
just-
answer Daryl real quick about something that nothing to do with what we're talking about. We're talking about penises now. He's talking about drones.
Yep.
I don't know
You
if
know,
that Anzu drone would fall under that whole bullshit because technically they are paying DJI for a license.
yeah.
So there's money there still, a money trail to DJI.
I would
so
like to
don't know.
find out because the Anzu does look like it looks like a decent.
It's
I mean, it
probably-
is a DJI
just a-
drone. It's all the
Yeah.
hardware.
But with that money trail of them paying for a license, I don't know if that would.
It depends.
have to wait and
They're
see,
they're
you
just
know?
paying for hardware.
You talking about the company
we'd have
that's
to
making
wait
the
and see.
drones that's exactly like DJI?
Yes.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not exactly
banned
like it. It is DJI just repackaged.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
That's
I thought
exactly
they
like
said there was
DJI.
Chinese parts in it, so we couldn't.
There's
But the-
there's Chinese parts and everything, but I don't know.
But
That's
the
one thing
thing
we're gonna have
is,
to find out more on this here before we.
and like I said too, technically there is a money trail back to DJI because they are paying them for a licensing fee. So
Right.
And I thought
we'll
they
have to
were
wait and
using-
see.
I thought they were using exactly the same version as the Fly app as well.
Yep.
You definitely
mean,
don't want to
they-
be using the same software. That's for damn sure. If you're going to try to resell that drone in the U.S.
Yeah,
So
but
how
then
they
the
gonna
question
work
is,
that out then? Because
then
it's
the
the
question
same.
is-
It's the same drone.
like I say, then the question is, where are the servers located? I mean,
Like there's a lot that in that deal that could not work. Depending on all the bill. Like I said, we don't know the entire language in the bill because there's 6,000 pages of it. But there could be somewhere in there saying that, you know, it could cover a licensing thing. And that's the thing is that technically there is a money trail going from that company to DJI because they're paying them for licensing.
mhm.
So that could in some way be affect that.
And that's a problem is these laws are written so generically and thrown together with all this other stuff that
Well, they leave them vague. so they can
nobody
interpret
knows
it.
what are in all these bills, and they keep passing them, and it's all these little pet projects that get shoved in these omnibus bills.
Yep.
And the government just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and more fingers into every little pie, and they don't need it, and it just when does it stop?
And that's I'm saying it's not so much like the drones themselves that I'm thinking is going to be the problem. I think it's going to be that money trail back to DJI that they're going to have an issue with. And the thing is, one thing I'm curious about is if a product gets banned in the U.S. Does anybody know this? Might know patent laws. I don't know because I don't know a lot about it. But I'm wondering if DJI was to get banned here, could a company here outright steal their design without is their patent still valid at
Yes.
that point?
National law.
Patents.
You know what I'm saying?
Stay forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I
No,
said, we don't know for sure. We're just guessing.
It's inheritable.
But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, can you outright steal a patent for a banned product?
No.
We don't know that.
Yes, we do.
I'm saying none of us know the in and outs of this true depth of patent laws. There
Right.
there
There's
could
a-
be something there that says that.
Donald, explain it to him.
No, I was just gonna say there is a book called 3 Felonies a Day. If you've never heard of it, look
know
it up.
what it
It's
is.
really interesting. It's an attorney who says basically everybody in the U.S. they get up, they go to work, they come home, and they are completely unaware that they are committing, on average, 3 felonies a day, because there are the law is so complex and so far-reaching that if the government wants to come after you for anything, they can find something on you. They've got so many
Yeah,
laws
you could be a
on
good
the books
citizen, you
that-
just don't realize you're
and you
doing
just
something.
you're doing something that everyone else is doing and no one really pays attention to it. But if they wanted to target you, they could come after you and find a felony to charge
Yeah,
you
I
with.
brought that point up a couple weeks ago, that not the 3 felony thing, but I have heard of that book. But I
our-
brought up the point that you could go throughout the day and actually commit crimes without realizing you're doing it. And it's
Yep.
unintentional. It's like I said, you could be a perfectly honest person just going throughout your day
Right.
and not realizing you're doing it.
But if the people in charge decide they want to put a finger on you, they can.
Well, laws are set so vague that they can interpret it to fit whatever narrative. they're
And that
trying
is
to
the
fit at
problem
that
with
point.
and that is the problem with the, like I was just saying, this law going through on this ban. It's like it's so general. Okay, we're going to trace money back, so we're going to ban any company we don't like because we can somehow track it back to where the money is going back eventually to the CCP somehow.
Like when Dusty peed in the park, were there kids there? No, but he still got arrested for it.
Well, yeah, 'cause it,
Don't listen to me. I'm just messing around.
yeah, but that's
Oh,
actually
Dusty's
Well,
not in the chat. Damn it.
Justin, did you know that every time you walk up to a urinal, Justin, you are breaking a law?
You're exposing yourself.
No, it's illegal for a grown man like you to hold a little boy's penis.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I walked right into that one. I'll give you that one. I walked into that.
But you were right there, Justin. Actually, over here,
Oh shit.
over here in the UK, if you was to get your tackle out and pee into a bush, not only you get done for exposing yourself, you also get put on the sex offenders register, even though you've not actually committed a sexual offence.
But yet, it's okay for a dog to hike his leg and piss
Mhm.
outside. I don't get it. It's
On a
good.
tree. Yeah.
Let's put all dogs on sex offenders registers.
I think they should be. Every dog.
You know, it's the same way you go hiking and there's certain trails, and I understand they don't want people digging up and making scat holes like on some of these trails out west where there's not as much moisture. But you have to pack in and pack out everything, and that includes your feces. You have to blue bag it. And you get these bags and you crap in the bag, tie it up, throw it in your pack, and
Like, look at
Take it out
cats.
with
They
you.
walk around all day with their buttholes sticking out, and that's
but
all
there's
right.
animals out there that they don't pack it out.
I think they should all be put on lists. I think they should be arrested.
That's why
for
I don't go.
exposing themselves.
That's why I would never hike on those trails. Down in Arkansas, you just you go 100 foot off trail and dig a hole, and you're good.
And honestly, Curtis, that is something that I've always thought about, not from just, teenager guy's perspective, but why is it okay for a guy to walk around without a shirt on, but it's not okay for a girl?
It is okay.
Right.
In lots of places.
In
Here
some
in town,
places,
there was
yes.
there was a woman walking around last summer without a shirt on. People called the cops, and you're like, "You can't do anything about it. She's not breaking a law. She's allowed to."
Yeah.
And that's the thing,
And
is why
It
is
wasn't fun to
in
look
our-
at, but I looked.
Well, what you're talking about Justin, is it's not socially acceptable, but
Yeah, but why is our society say it's okay for one but not another, right? Like,
Right.
Strangely enough, in
I
Central
agree.
Park, in Central Park in New York, it is okay for women to be topless as long as they
Yep.
are sat reading a book.
and like I said, it's not me looking at it from a guy's
It's
like a
crazy.
16-year-old giggling perspective. It's me looking at it as like a legit thing.
Well,
Why
and
does our society say it?
It's
Yeah.
actually not illegal to be naked in public.
Correct.
And just like Donald said, like Ron White said in his comedy skit, do I want to look at those saggy titties? No. But did I? Yes, of course I did.
No, do you want to see him? Yep. Now put him away.
Uh,
But over here, a lot of places now have started saying, if you're not covered, you ain't coming in.
It's just like if you saw if a girl walked outside in her underwear and her bra, people would have a conniption shit. But if she walked outside in a bikini, nobody would think about it. But if you look at it, technically it's covering the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
It's just two different types of outfits, pretty much.
I don't know about in the
Yeah,
US.
we start letting women walk around with no shirts and no bras on, man. It's gonna be more accidents than a little bit.
But
Okay, because just from a how should I say it? What's the word I'm looking for?
but in the UK, a woman
Just off of human nature, we're gonna look. We're gonna look. See a bro walking down the street with titties hanging out. We're gonna look. Every man is gonna look. Shit, some women gonna look these days. You might have
Yes,
more
Joe.
women looking in the men.
Jody, we can thank the Canadians for Naked News. They're the ones that started that. It's the one good thing that came out of Canada. I can listen to a political debate while I watch a chick get undressed. It's awesome.
There are towns in Europe where you can walk around the town naked all day.
Naked News is one of
They
the
do.
weirdest things. Like, they'll be telling you the most serious news story, and then they're undressing, and all you see is titties and gooch as they're trying to explain the most serious news story to you, and you don't hear half of it. But what happened to David?
He went
He was
out,
good,
he went out looking for topless.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Buying
music, especially
anymore.
Curtis, with all the AI music coming out. I mean, yeah, it's going to be rough out there for people that are just actual songwriters and people that make music for like TV shows and stuff. Yeah, I think that's a thing of the past.
Yep.
You might as well
When
say
if we're done-
movies. Might as well say movies too, because anytime a movie come out, I just turn on my Fire Stick. I see it the same day it drop.
Well, I'm saying like YouTube. Well, what I'm saying is AI. If a production company wants music for background music in a movie or a show or something,
Mhm.
and now they can just go to AI and say, I want this type of ominous music or whatever, or this classical, and it can come up with something real quick. Do, and they're done. They don't have to hire some guy to sit and make music like Charlie Sheen did in what was the TV show he was in? 2.5 Men. That was his job in the show. He
Yeah.
made music for like commercials and stuff.
Well,
A lot
same
of
as far as
movies use
artwork.
songs- A lot of movies that use songs that's already out. It helps get the viewers' attention.
It's the same as artwork. You're not gonna have people spending time for an illustrator to make a billboard anymore when they can just say, okay, AI, make me this idea, and it spits out like 4 different iterations of it and says, which one do you like best?
Oh, I love Naked News is on YouTube. Nice.
Oh Lord.
No,
Shut
we're
up,
get-
Jonathan. I'm trying
we're
to
going
watch
to be
this.
going to a. I think eventually they'll have to go to a post copyright law world. And musicians can still make money doing live performances.
It's going to be harder though. I think if for music that you're making for the general public, like say like Taylor Swift, people like that, I think are still going to be around, obviously.
Well, she's not selling her music.
But people like I said, like kind of like Charlie Sheen that was doing it for
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, Taylor
think
Swift is
those
not
people-
selling music.
He's not selling music.
She's
Nope,
selling
she's selling an
herself.
identity. No, an identity. Her fan base, the Swifties, they basically she's selling a community. She's selling an identity and a community. They can have their community. They can identify as a Taylor Swift fan, and they identify with her. And it's more about she's giving them a concept that they can internalize. And so it's not about listening to her music. It's about everything that goes around it.
So basically, she's a teacher.
I think that's been a thing with artists.
Well, yeah, it's always been
Forever,
ours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're selling their personality. Their
the cult of personality.
right.
Cult of
Okay.
personality. Cult of personality.
Here's how I see music has changed. I wouldn't care who made it. They made it back in you made it 20, 30 years ago. Your music had a message in it. It had a message. It either had a message, a meaning, or a story to it, right? Nowadays, music, they just say anything, man.
It depends. There's some good artists out there still today, newer artists that are coming out, but there's a lot of people that don't even write their own music neither.
It's always been the case. Elvis didn't write his own music.
But there's certain artists out there that take offense to that too, as well. That do write all their own music. And one of the biggest advocates for that, I would say, is Eminem, dude. He hates ghostwriters. He can't stand people that write music for other people. He's made a big deal about that.
That's how Lil Wayne got famous, off of ghostwriters.
Yeah, man, that's the thing is Eminem, he writes all his own stuff, and he can't stand the fact that people don't write their own music. He thinks that's part of the art form of music, is to write your own stuff. He thinks that's a true artist.
The Beatles always wrote their own music.
Granted, he works with people that are like that, like a Lil Wayne. Obviously, he's done a lot of music with Lil Wayne. But in his eyes, a true artist is going to write their own music and do everything from scratch themselves.
Yeah, in fact, see, you weren't considered an artist unless you wrote. That was the art of it. That's why they called you an artist, because you wrote your own music, and it made sense. It made a point.
But like Donald said, I mean, there's been ghostwriters since forever. I mean, it's nothing new. I would say it's more prevalent these days because, dude, like Jonathan knows because he listens to some of the music I listen to, but some of these new rappers sound like absolute garbage outside of the studio, dude.
Yeah, but take a look at, say,
You can't even call them rappers. I don't even call them rappers, yo. Like,
because the auto tune and all that, it's just ridiculous.
There are some people who are so prolific. Look at Prince. He wrote so much, and there was a lot of songs that he wrote that didn't really fit into any projects that he was working on, and so he would sell those off. Is he a ghostwriter because he sold a song that he wasn't going to perform?
Technically, he is a ghostwriter. It doesn't make him a bad person because he actually
not really ghostwriter. He got writing credit. A ghostwriter doesn't get writing credits.
Oh, you will see the name of a ghostwriter on the back of the album that he wrote it for, but you don't know who he is. So when you see his name, it doesn't even mean nothing. It's just a name to you. But they get credit, just that people don't know who the person is.
Well, the thing is like the term ghostwriter, at least with the people we're talking about that don't like it, they're using it as a general term of anybody who writes music for somebody else.
Right. Okay.
Whether they're famous or not.
The actual term ghostwriter means that when somebody writes a autobiography or something and they're not really good at writing, you bring in a ghostwriter who is a good writer to help write the actual manuscript. They don't get credit.
In the music industry, a ghostwriter is the person who wrote the song, though.
Everything Joe Biden says he's written.
What's her name? Wait a minute. Okay, Mary J. Blige, Faith Evans. Mary J. Blige first 1, 2, 3 albums. Faith Evans wrote them albums, but they messed around and got into some kind of conflict. And Faith decided she wasn't going to write Mary J. Blige music anymore. She was going to sing her own songs. So then, what's his name? Babyface started writing Mary J. Blige music after that. I want to say Keisha Cole wrote some songs for it too.
Yeah, because there's some people, there are some artists out there that are very good singers, but they might not be good writers. But there's a lot of artists these days that are absolute garbage at singing. They can't write worth shit.
Right.
It's just some reason the record label thought their personality would sell, so they put them in the studio, they throw on auto-tune and get somebody to write their music, and then they sound good. But I've seen some artists, dude, where it shows them singing in the studio behind the scenes with none of that shit on, and they sound like absolute dog shit.
Yeah. See, you can have the music in your head, but that don't necessarily mean you got the voice. And that's why they had ghostwriters, because Donald can write a good hip-hop song, okay? But for Donald,
I've written 1,000.
Yeah, for Donald to go make a video and try to produce that song, he's not gonna sound right. So now let's say Donald writes it, I make it. Y'all gonna look at this song like that's my song, I made a hit, but all the while, Donald Doss is written on the back of the CD, but y'all don't know who Donald Doss is.
Yep.
Yeah, but like I was saying, they use it as a
Jay
general
Jackson.
term.
Jay
just-
Jackson gets all the credit, but
Right.
his Ghost Rider ball floater back here, ball floater MC don't get no credit.
Yeah,
Ball
but
floater MC.
Donald's gonna write the song. I'm gonna give him 50,000. I'm gonna turn around and make 3 million.
Yeah, but here's
And that's how it
here's what
happens,
you
too.
guys gotta
That's
think
exactly
about.
how it goes. Yeah.
That's because
here's what you guys
my
gotta-
face
here's what
would
you
not
guys
work,
gotta-
but
you
your
guys-
face would.
You guys got to think about in the
Not,
future.
it's not even the face, because look,
in
we
the
got Eminem.
future, there
We got
will not-
Eminem.
There will
And
not
Eminem
be
is the
any-
hottest rapper there is out there.
I'm talking. Look at these baggy things.
In the future,
look at
there
you,
will
man.
not be any ghostwriters because there won't be any real people acting, singing, doing any of that.
The
It'll all
ghost
be
in the
AI.
machine.
It'll all
The
be,
ghost
it'll
in
all
the
be
machine.
AI. It'll all be AI. You're right. You're right. You figure 20 years from now, ain't nobody gonna want to pay an actor umpteen thousands of dollars or whatever when they can just get on a computer and put it together. So that just like this band, AI is gonna kill a lot of jobs and kill a lot of people from doing things too.
I was cleaning my keyboard. So that's why I was writing all that shit in there. I'm trying to get all the junk out between my keys.
Who was it that made them couple of rap songs with the AI a little while back? You don't remember that, Justin? He was making songs about, matter of fact, I think he made one about Tim.
Oh,
yeah.
That was Corey that made that.
Yeah, of course. You
Yeah,
see,
Corey
look,
was
AI,
using AI. We made a diss track about Matt when he did his last show, like
Look,
4 or
and
5
it
months
sounded
ago.
like something that somebody written. We wouldn't have known that AI did it had he not told us that it was just AI. He could have told us he wrote that. We'd have swore he did because we never heard it before.
What's up, JD?
Right now, the
Yeah,
world.
I don't know about Taylor Swift. I don't know if she writes her own music or not, JD.
The
I'm just
world's
saying there are a
producing
lot of
things
artists
that,
that
so that
don't,
we don't need human hands to do it. But now these same human hands, you understand it. That's how we make our living by doing these
But
things.
think about it now too. Now these artists don't have to pay somebody to write them a song of paying 50 grand. Guess what? Now they can just go use the AI that's on the record label's computer and be like, I need a song about why my boyfriend left me, and I want to sound like Avril Lavigne in the 90s.
Yeah.
Boom, spits out a song.
Tell it to type in certain things you wanted to speak about, certain words, and it's going to produce that.
Yeah.
Now
All
I don't know.
16 bars.
I don't know if I would totally agree with what Paul said. I don't know if music artists and movie stars are just going to outright disappear because
No,
the
it
human
will go
personality
to.
is what sells.
It's
so
going
I
to
don't
go
know.
to a live performance type thing. You're not going to really focus
I could
as
be.
much.
I mean, he could be right, but I don't know. I just.
But
It'd be nice.
Listen,
if
it's already started. It's already started in the car industry. People don't make cars no more. You got these little robot arms and AIs and all that make the cars now. It used to be cars were made by the people. Now they're not. It's already started. It's just slowly coming up the line. Slowly coming up the line.
But the more high tech we get, the more we are going to crave the actual true human interactions, and live events will take off more. I think that.
Shut up, Mike. I can't see when it's turned
when
off.
it gets to be a point where you can just type in the movie you want to see, I think that's when the stage plays will just go through the roof because people will crave the authentic.
I can't see inside the keyboard when the backlights are off, Mike. If I turn the power off, it does that. Oh, Mike was saying shut your keyboard off while you're trying to clean it. I said I can't because it backlights all the keys so I can see all the crap between the keys. And I'm getting like all the little bits of like hair and just fuzz and shit that's collected in there over time.
Well,
But I can't see it if the lights are off on the keyboard.
Don't you have a vacuum that you can use that on the keyboard? Suck all that shit up out of there?
I mean, I can, but there's stuff that just sticks, so too, like heavy
I
dust
don't
and
know,
stuff
get a
that the
strong
vacuum
enough
won't get.
vacuum and then just suck
I
it
mean,
right out of
technically,
there.
I can take all the keys off and just clean it because it's got removable keys, but fucking removing 200 keys is kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Takes like an hour and a half just to fucking clean the keyboard out if you do that. I'm
They
just
have,
getting just some big stuff I see. Some
they have little brush attachments on the end of vacuum cleaners that you can use.
Yep.
not that thin.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Train. I,
You
I
can.
use
You
I
can
use
actually
can
buy
I
a
use can of
vacuum
air.
cleaner designed for cleaning your keyboard.
No, I haven't I got a freaking what is it?
All right, Justin and Paul, check your messenger. Curtis wrote a
Hmm.
new intro for
I
Paul's
got a
show.
3-gallon air compressor over here by my desk.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, hold the keyboard upside down, blow it out.
Well, yeah, the can of air works too, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's certain heavy stuff that will actually stick to the rubber under the keys that even if you blow the keyboard out, it doesn't remove all of it. Plus, you don't really want to go, well, with my air compressor, I can't go full bore with it. I'll end up blowing the keys right off the damn keyboard.
Dang it!
I have
I haven't listened to Living Color for so long. Remember them?
Living
Early
color.
90s?
Yep.
Cult Personality? Actually, late 80s.
That's where a lot of the stars that came out came from.
No, I'm not talking about in Living Color. I'm talking about the band Living Color.
Oh,
Look,
In
know
late
who that
80s, they had the song Cult Personality.
see? Sarah got an award last night at her banquet.
I saw that.
Oh, good.
your background
There
is
you go.
killing it. Pull it closer.
They were good.
Outstanding staff support.
Shit, it disappeared when you pull it closer.
That's a year. It's for the entire year. She got an outstanding staff support of the year.
All right, now tell them to give her a vacation.
Oh, she gets another raise next month.
Vacation.
Oh, yeah, but she's only been there like what 2 years, and she's gotten like 5 or 6 raises already.
Okay, see,
They give her a lot of
I
raises.
don't, maybe I'm saying the word on this side and it's coming through differently on your end. I don't know.
Does get vacation time.
Vacation.
She does get vacation time.
Yeah, she needs 7 days straight. I told her this.
Hello,
She
fellas.
needs hey, Sarah.
Happy
It's
Father's
Sarah.
Day to all you fathers.
Smile.
Happy
Whether
Father's Day to
you-
you too, because I know you take care of the whole household.
You're damn right. You're damn right. And if you don't have children, happy Father's Day to the furry fathers. The
Oh,
fathers
yeah.
who have furry friends.
We've got
Take that back.
apples and fish, yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
Okay, now I'm going to the store. I gotta go buy cake. Bye.
Okay, Kate, have a good one.
You supposed to be on vacation.
No,
No,
she wanted to go.
She leaves Justin home to be on vacation.
No, she wanted to go to the store to buy cake for Father's Day. I didn't want anything for Father's Day, but she's persistent. So
So he want Boston creams.
Because nobody knows but you, but she loves you. She wants to show you her love.
oh, I know she does every day.
It's a beautiful thing.
No, she just wants to feed you more cake so you can't stray.
Who sang that song?
So yesterday I sent out, I've been doing this every day, a little tweet on X or post on X to all the senators and a few other people about this DJI ban and all this. Don't do it. All the statistics in it and all of this. I went on Twitter today and I was banned from Twitter. I had to authenticate myself to get back on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I had to authenticate myself to get back on.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
I was removed from Twitter.
You saw what the response was for some of the senators and congressmen. You saw the one that I read out from Daryl. That guy pretty much told Daryl, "Oh well,
Yeah.
we're doing it anyway. Sorry we don't mean to upset you, but it's gonna happen." Type response that he
And the
gave
biggest
Daryl.
thing I'm mentioning is that the amount of people that are going to lose jobs. That's the main thing I'm
Yeah,
bringing up.
I saw your post.
So I'm sending it. I'm actually going to send one to Elon Musk and say, why don't you please buy
Yeah.
DJI? Save our jobs.
Yeah, they pretty much told you to said fuck you on the anti-ban. Yeah, it's pretty much what the guy told Daryl in such not so mean words. It was like, don't matter. Thanks
Joe, I
for
told
your
you, stop
interest.
stressing, man. You're just gonna find something else to do.
That's all right. It's not going to happen. It's going to, like I said,
Well, I
it's going to
asked
come down to lawsuits and litigation and Supreme Court before it's all over.
Well, I asked JD last night, so JD's going to start running some online courses for you guys to show you how to build and repair RC cars. So you guys can start learning when you got to go over to FPV RC. Okay?
FPVRC?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
if you guys start breaking people's ankles in the parks, they're going to put regulations on them. Just
Mm.
saying.
You can
So
put
watch your
FPV
shit.
cameras on
Okay?
anything.
Like I said, you
Well-
start breaking little kids' ankles in the parks, that's on you guys. Shit's not regulated right now. Don't cause regulations.
If we can't get in the sky, I'm good. I'll find something else to do. I mean, think about it. 5 years ago, I wasn't flying no drones. I don't know about most of y'all. 5 years ago, I wasn't flying no drones. So, like I said, we just find something else to do. And then 5 years later, when they're no longer a national security risk, they'll lift the ban. Yeah.
And all our batteries will be fucked and we'll have to buy new ones.
You have to buy new everything. Batteries been outdated. Drones been outdated.
Dude, y'all are going to be like fucking Cuba and shit. You're going to be flying drones that are like 10 years old. Everybody else
Mhm.
around the world's got modern shit.
Go buy your Mavic 10 in 5 years.
Like when you go to Cuba and they're still driving a bunch of cars from the 50s.
There's some really nice cars in Cuba.
Yeah, because they can't get any. I'm sure there's probably some new shit in Cuba that's slipped in. Obviously, there's probably an underground market of people that are importing shit, that are getting shit through. There's just no way that they're not getting something through. I'm sure there's some modern stuff in Cuba, but it's just not as prevalent. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see one or two cars around every once in a while. There are probably modern cars that have gotten in there.
The thing about it in Cuba is they've got some really superb cars that have got really crappy different engines in them.
I like that, cool cat.
Fucking old, like 1970s Charger with a fucking lawnmower engine in it because that's all they had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking 50cc motor inside a Dodge Charger. Just going down the road at 20 miles an hour.
Only thing you're gonna have to extend them hoses. Keep yourself in the air.
Yeah.
I think this will open a good market up for professional kite flying. You just hook your GoPro onto a kite and you're good to go, man.
I think they're gonna start. I think they're gonna start putting flying cars on the market. That's why they want the drones out the way now.
I sent Elon a message just now. I said, please buy DJI. I said approximately 368,000 licensed pilots registered in the United States, about 75% use DJI drones. I said, not including police, fire, and active. They passed the DJI ban. We'll lose our jobs. I said, we need your help. Buy a DJI and make it a US company.
There you go.
He'd probably be willing to buy it, but he definitely isn't going to advocate for a Chinese company because he don't like China.
But you never know that. You know, he might look at this and say, let me look at, have my people look into it and say, oh, this is stupid shit. DJI, what do you want for it? You never know.
All right. Put my name on that email there, Joe. I'm right with you.
Yeah, the way he's going with technology, he could probably start his own company up from scratch and be the equivalent of DJI within 6 months.
True. He could. He got the money for it.
But the problem you have is that makes everything up to now obsolete.
Daryl said, I've asked Elon to build a drone for over 2 years now, and the prick never responds.
Oh, shit.
That's all right. It's all right. I put
So
my
what
picture
you
out there.
guys all need to do,
I put that picture behind me out there.
so what y'all need to do is get together, have a drone meetup right outside of SpaceX,
Yeah.
and make it a point.
Around it.
Tell him you
That
want him
would
to either build
definitely
his
get
own
covered
drones.
by the news. They will be there ASAP to cover that.
You either demand he builds a drone for you or he buys DJI.
Or we could do a DJI drone march. I don't know what state. We'll know in a little bit, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got Pride Month. Can't we have Drone Month?
I mean, there's tons of companies in the US, if they really wanted to invest and build
We ain't
drones, they could do it. They just
We
don't
ain't
want
talking
to.
we ain't talking about parades, Mark. I heard that.
Let's fly in the airspace. That'd not piss him off at all. Keep his rockets from going up. As soon as the rocket goes to launch, you just flood around with like 50 DJIs around the fucking drone, around the rocket.
Oh Lord.
If anything, that'd just get you guys banned quicker.
He ain't lying. They
If
really be
anything,
mad. They really be mad at China.
anything,
Then.
the rocket will still take off and you'll have 50 melted DJI drones.
Falling to the ground.
Actually, I would love to have
Oh, the man just shut him down.
flights out around the rocket.
You just
him
froze,
down.
you
Start
froze,
over,
Donald.
start over, Donald. They
You
just
said I would love
yeah,
to
the
have,
world
and then
just
the man
bleed.
shut you down.
It went very metallic.
Say it again, Donald.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I said I would love to have that job because they do the drone flights out around the rockets and stuff.
Yeah. And then he froze again. And then he looked at that.
Bro, dude.
Donald, go
Elon
get
is-
your tinfoil, man. Get your tinfoil hat, dude.
Yeah,
Get your
Elon's trying to
tinfoil hat,
shut you
too.
down, bro. You keep
Yeah, I just
freezing
sent
right
four
when you're
more
about
out
to
and-
tell
and-
us.
All right. How about this? If I kill my video, does that work?
I
Yeah.
don't know. Try to say it again. See what happens.
Then
All right.
again, it depends on how long
I
it
was just
lasts.
saying, when they do the drone work out around the rockets when they are flying, I don't want the job of the person actually taking the video. I want the job of the person because the person doing the flight, he'll fly out and be circling the launch and everything. And when it gets close to being dead on battery, he's got an assistant whose job is to fly the new drone out to him. They switch controllers, and their job is to fly the original drone back, swap out batteries and stuff. I want the assistant job.
There was actually a couple there was actually some drone footage that SpaceX did from the launch pad and you can actually see one Inspire filming when one flew in front of it to pan. And they were only a couple hundred yards from the rocket when it took off. They were trying to get shots of it.
Yep.
They were like 200 or 300 yards from it.
That would be a fun drone team to work on.
Mm.
Yeah, it would actually. The pay is probably great too.
Oh, probably.
I mean, if anything, that's what y'all need to be doing is getting on X and start tagging Elon in it. Build us some drones, buy DJI. There you go. If anybody's got some pool or can make a splash with the government, it's him.
No, it would take somebody getting close enough to Elon to put some FPV goggles on or something, take him for a flight, and then he'd have a drone company.
What you need is Elon to run for president.
Don, you might have something there.
I'm not gonna lie, I would actually be curious to see him as president.
Well, you know, he's pitched a couple ideas out on X recently about making a phone.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I've
Have you
heard
known
about
that? Yeah, he's like, yeah, Apple doesn't care about you. I mean, Samsung doesn't care about you. Would you guys be interested in an X phone?
Yeah, he wants to do his own operating system and everything.
Uh-huh.
But that's the thing is that iPhones and Android are very hard. I mean, Microsoft, look, when Microsoft came out with their phones, they were smooth. They worked great. The only downfall, and I've said this a million times before, was their app store was absolute dog shit. If they would have fixed their app store and made it as accessible as Google or you know, Apple, their phones would probably still be around, but people didn't like them because you couldn't get basic apps like the Walmart app or Amazon. They didn't have any of the basic apps that people use every day on their app store. So people got frustrated and left. That's the reason I stopped using their phone. But their phones were nice. The layout was nice. The operating system ran beautifully. It connected to your PC like that, was just instantly integrated with your computer. It worked really nice, but I left because I couldn't get basic apps that I wanted on it.
Okay, I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm looking at the votes on this bill that passed. And
It was
first
like
off, Steve
96
Scalise
to
could
1.
kiss my ass.
It was like
He'll never get my
96 to
vote
1.
again.
There was one
No,
person
this
that
is-
voted against it on the committee.
That wasn't the, what you call it. I'm talking about how it passed out the House.
Or something.
Okay? Go ahead to see the total. It passed in the House 218 to 210. Okay?
So it did go through the House.
It went through
That's
the House,
because-
218. But what happened, it passed 218 to 210. The 208 people, the 208 people that voted against it were Democrat. 2 Democrat voted for it. It's in the Senate now. The Senate is Democratic. They will not pass it. Because you
I
have to
thought
have
the
2/3.
Senate was majority Republican.
No,
It
it's
used to
only
be. It
the
used to
House.
be. It used
So
to
it's
be.
got to go through the Senate, and it's got to be 2/3. It ain't never gonna happen.
It depends on where those Democrats fall in line, though.
It's got to be. It's got to be more. It's got to be more than just what they've got.
Because you got
it's
to
gotta
think
have a
the
couple more
senators
votes.
think different than the congressmen sometimes. So it all
Yeah,
depends
but
on
not
where
in
they
this-
fall.
not in this
I'm going to
political
the
year.
Senate.
Good in the Senate.
Yeah, but you see, Steve Scalise, and I hope he could hear this. The guy that lived down the street from me that said, "Oh, we're not for pastor." The bitch
Oh,
voted for it. That's all right. See, he ain't getting my vote again. I'll vote for a Democrat first.
210 to 218.
All right, Joe, relax yourself. Back it up. All right.
Oh, so your buddy Scalise voted for it?
He
Vote
voted
for
for it.
Biden. Don't you vote for Biden? Don't you
I won't
do it.
vote for Biden, but I'll vote for a Democratic senator over him because he lied to me. Now he might be voting for the defense bill, but look at the shit. Go in there and see what else is in there. The bill you said you wouldn't vote for is in there.
Look. You
Why not
can't-
vote for Why not vote for Biden?
I'm not voting for him
Donald,
Why not?
because you're not
Donald,
voting
are
for
you
Biden.
being
You're voting for
serious
whoever's
with-
going to be his vice president.
Wait,
Wait, hold on. What were we talking about?
Defense bill.
Now that's
Vote-
why I
vote for
wouldn't vote for
whoever-
Biden.
Vote for whoever your heart tells you to vote for.
That's why I wouldn't vote for Biden, because you wouldn't remember 5 minutes later.
Yeah, every Democratic person but 2 voted
So-
against it.
Biden's got a good ghostwriter.
Yeah, but the committee was pretty diverse, and it
That's
was
all right,
like
but it don't matter.
but they only had one on there, so you don't know where those Democratic senators fall. They might
But
be
it
on a
don't
different
matter, 'cause
level page.
when it comes down to it, what's going to happen?
But to be fair, Joe, everything that you said wasn't going to happen has happened so far. So don't, like
Yeah.
I
That's all
said,
right.
don't get
And you
too ahead of
were
yourself.
telling us, you were like, nope, not gonna
Steve
happen.
Scalise
That's what he
said it
told
wasn't
me.
happening. Yeah,
Don't worry about it. It's not going to pass. It's not going to pass the Senate.
you love Steve Scalise, don't you?
Not anymore.
I've been telling you since the beginning. Every time you say it's not gonna, I'm like, don't underestimate.
And then that good-looking woman, Boebert from Colorado, the one that's so hot, she voted for it, bitch.
I think she.
Dude.
I don't think she's very hot.
That's because she's a honeypot. You got to watch it.
she's got a large chest, but
And when she looks
Well,
like that and
Donald
has a gun on
noticed
her
that.
hip, yeah, that's my kind of woman.
No, but I've been saying this for the last 6 months, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's never gonna even get into the House. It's not gonna do anything. It'll never get out of committee." I was like, "Just don't underestimate it," and nobody listened.
mm-hmm.
Where's that book? Come on.
I've been on that same.
And that's the thing, is because the drone community has not been looking at the outside picture of all the other politics that are going on that have nothing to do with drones. They're just focused on the drone thing. I've been paying attention to everything outside of that.
Yeah, but it still comes down to, it's still got to pass. They've been having problems with all the different defense acts in the Senate that they've been trying to pass. Because
Yep.
the Democrats in the Senate won't do it.
Look, I'm not
So they're
saying it's
trying to
not
go-
gonna pass, but just don't assume it's not going to. You should be prepared. You
Well,
should
the-
actually have a plan set in place for if this goes through, what are you gonna do with your stuff?
Well, but what everybody should be pissed at is the rules. Why are they able to fold so much bullshit into one bill? It
It's
should
always
be
been-
separate.
Oh, we all
It's-
agreed on that. Why? But that's just the way it's been, unfortunately.
Well, that's how they control it.
Go ahead, Donald. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody has been saying this about omnibus bills forever. Instead of actually, it's part of the negotiation process to get their own little pet projects in. Okay, I'll put my pet project if you let me, or I'll let you put your pet project in if you let me put my pet project in.
Right.
And it just,
And it snowballs. But that's
Mhm.
like we said, we all talked about this yesterday, and we all agreed that that was bullshit. None of us are disagreeing with that. We all think that's an absolute garbage, whether you agree with the bill or not. They should be, like Mark said yesterday, they should all be done on their own merit. They should all be looked at and done separately per bill on their own merits. And like I've used that example, that's how that whole alien bill went through, was because they attached it to a COVID bill. So a couple senators did. Nobody was paying attention. And then the shit passed, and the government's like, oh shit, now we got to dig through all these top secret files. And then that's how the whole David thing started. The David Koresh. I don't want to mispronounce his name
Gresh.
again.
G, you did this the other day.
Gresh.
G, Gresh.
David Gresh.
Because I
Yeah,
thought you were
that's
talking
how-
about Koresh.
That's how that whole thing started, because he was the one they sent out to get all the top secret files. Some shit went down, and now he's a government whistleblower. But yeah, the shit gets hidden in other bills all the time, and yeah, it is absolute garbage. Like I said, you think half of these senators or these congressmen are reading anything in those bills when each bill's 6,000 to 10,000 pages? You think
No.
they're literally sitting there reading it? The only people that know what's in those bills
They-
are the lawyers that drafted them up.
They hand it to their pages. The pages split up. All right, I'll read a third. You read a third. You read a third. Read through it and tell me if there's anything that's going to come back to bite me.
Exactly. They're not really like digging into it and saying,
Is
"Oh,
there
what's
anything
this
good in
word?"
here? No. That we don't care if there's anything good in here. Just make sure there's nothing that's going to come back and bite me.
You're right. Exactly. It's a self-interest on each bill. Their own self-interest.
Yeah, if I was elected to be a representative of some sort, I would vote no on every single omnibus bill on principle. But that's me. And I probably wouldn't get reelected.
Like I said, I think the major problem with the drone community is they weren't looking at the bigger picture outside of drones. They were just looking at the drone thing, and they weren't looking at all the other politics that was going on outside of that. That had nothing to do with drones, but ties into that. And they think that they were making some kind of difference, and I don't think they really made any difference, to be honest with you. A lot of these guys were like, oh, I had a meeting with my senator. That's great. The senator might have told you whatever the hell you wanted to hear, but at the end of the day,
You gonna vote for me, right? You can vote for me, right? Tell all your family to vote for me too.
Right, but at the end of the day, that don't mean that's what he's gonna do, because if anything on that bill is what they consider secretive, they're not gonna tell you jack shit as a regular citizen coming in there bitching and moaning that, oh, you're taking my hobby away. Cause some of these guys that went and talked to him weren't even, they're more hobbyists than professional pilots. So as a senator, he might be looking at you like, okay, this dude's pissed I'm taking his toy away. I don't care. You know?
Pip pip, cheerio.
Well, in that bill probably was a lot of money going out to Israel.
Well, that's why they attached it to it, because they knew it would pass.
Yeah,
Exactly why they did that. If you attach it to a bill that you're almost 99% sure is gonna pass, that's a perfect bill to attach it to. Because when it comes to funding the military on a defense bill, both sides are not gonna, they're gonna have a very small percentage on both sides that are gonna vote against that. Because there's a lot of Democrats and a lot of Republicans out there that do support the military. I'm not talking about the radicalized ones, but the normal everyday citizens that are just trying to, keep the country going as best as they can. Those are the guys that are gonna, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that do support the military on both sides, so they're not gonna vote against it.
Well, one more step and we'll see what it do.
If it gets through the Senate, dude, it's over, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
It's over at that point.
Right.
Because if it gets through the Senate, Biden already said he's gonna sign it. That's it. Once Biden signs it, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might have some lawsuits come into play here and there, but I mean, I don't see it stopping, to be honest with you.
I kind of hope it goes through and DJI gets
What?
out of the drone business in the U.S. completely, and the only options we have are like really expensive U.S. made drones. Because it'll get rid of all these little birthday drone kids out here giving us a bad name.
Yeah, you do got a point there, though.
It's gonna be worse. They're gonna be flying them drones that's prone to crash into something.
True, they'll be buying all the little $100 ones, but
like I said,
yep, if it doesn't connect to if it only connects to controller, not really much to.
Like I said, I really think it's going to cause I think it's going to cause some a lot of companies to start coming out with some new and different things, and I think that a lot of companies are going to be vying to take that spot.
Mhm.
So you're going to get a lot of choices of different drones coming out because of that. Because you're going to get companies from Japan, you might get a company from Australia, you might get a company from the UK. Parrot might jump back in there and try to retake that market again. Parrot made a lot of really good shit. Like people say there's no other drones out there that can compete with DJI. Parrot still makes some really good shit. And their everyday drones that they used to make they were really good. There was nothing wrong with Parrot back in the day.
I never flew one of those. I watched some footage. I watched a lot of footage from them though. I like the way they look. I'm not gonna lie.
A lot of the drone light shows are using Parrot.
Like I said, but Parrot never had a problem. They just kind of, I guess, didn't really want to compete with DJI. I don't really know the reasoning why they left the consumer market, but they kind of just decided one day, hey, we don't want to do this no more, and they went more to commercial. But like I said, they may decide to jump back in the ring. Like I said, I think people that are doing it professionally, they're going to be the ones that suffer. But the recreational guys, yeah, you might suffer for a little while, but I guarantee that market is not going to be empty very long. There's going to be companies that are going to be rushing to get shit out to get that piece of that pie, because DJI is worth $9 billion is what their company's, I think, around valued at. So the U.S. market's probably 2 or 3 billion of that. So that's a pretty big market that companies are going to want to.
But that market's going to if you can't deliver the product for the price, that market dries up.
Right.
It depends though. Like I said,
No, it doesn't
they
depend.
could-
That market dries up.
right?
If,
But I'm saying they could decide to manufacture the drones right in Mexico.
true.
The labor costs there are cheaper now. So
Yeah, if they can
build your
get it
drones
made
in
for the same
Mexico.
price point.
right. And that's what I'm saying. So you could have an American company come out with a really good design, have it down in Mexico being shipped right up to the US, boom. And you could be getting them for the same price.
Will it be as good as what we already had?
I think companies will be rushing and really be pushing to get something out just as good because they're going to want to steal the market. And the thing is all these companies that are going to be going for that market, they're going to be forced to put out the best that they can put out if they want to be dominant and take that chunk of the market, right? They can't put out half-ass projects. They're going to have to really bring their A game if they're going to want to, because the first one that starts bringing out the really good drones like DJI and really brings their A game, those are the ones that they're going to be the one to take the market. They're
Okay,
gonna swoop in
the
and
way
take
I
it.
see it, right? If they drop, let's say, well, no, I don't want to say that they passed it, but hypothetically, say it happens, right? Every U.S. drone market is going to start throwing commercials at us. They're going to throw it to us on TV. They're going to throw it to us online. We're going to be pressed because now all this that we had, we can't fly. So now we're looking to buy something that we already know isn't up to par yet. You see what I'm saying? Me personally, I'm not going to look out there I'm not going to jump out there to go start buying Parrots and other drones because I
But
already
that's why you let people like fucking Marcus and Dobo, let them go out and spend their money, see how the shit works, and then you make your decision from there.
That's true.
But like I said, I think you're going to see a lot of companies. You might see 10 or 15 companies come out of nowhere and just start pumping drones out, which will give you a really cool option. You'll be like, oh, I want to try this one, or that one looks really cool. And it might actually kind of revitalize the drone community because they're not just have one company.
Daryl's right. Any company that lobbied for this to get into the bill, don't buy their drones. If they lobbied for this to go through,
that's only really Skydio, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I doubt it.
I honestly think
Skydio was making a whole lot of noise, but I'm quite sure they weren't the only one.
I'm not saying Skydio was right by any means, but I think the government used them. I don't think it was the other way around.
Any company that backed this to claim the market, don't buy their drones.
Like I said, I don't agree with what they did, but I'm just saying I think it was shady, but I don't think that they went to the government. I think the government came to them because they already had contracts with them. And I think they put them in a position to do it. And they used them as a scapegoat. I think they were using them as a scapegoat. But I could be wrong. It's just a guess of mine.
No, I mean it's possible because you got to think if they went to United States defense contracts, right?
Right, they already have big contracts, billion-dollar contracts.
They kind of stuck in the mud. They got to roll with who they already rolling with. It puts them in a predicament. Because if they just said no, we don't. Plus, it wouldn't have made sense for them to say that no, don't do the ban because, like you said, if it happens, it helps them.
Well, and companies like, so like Boeing is a big government contractor, but like 70% of their business actually comes from private business, which is selling airliners to companies, where companies like Lockheed Martin, like 80 or 90% of their entire profit margin that their company makes comes from the US government. So those companies, no, I think he's sleeping. Now, those companies, now the government has more control over them because their entire company is depending on contracts where Boeing can kind of, they can kind of push back a little bit if they want. They could be like, no, we don't want to do that because, 70% of their business isn't reliant on the government. Where, like I said, Lockheed Martin, they make 60, 70 billion a year. At least 55 of that comes from the government. So they have to kind of do what the government wants, right? Because if the
Right.
government pulls all their contracts, they'll tank them overnight. Their company will be gone, so they don't have much of a choice but to do what the government wants.
No, don't buy it.
Who the fuck's showing this? Who's sharing their screen?
Paul, don't buy it.
Got to be
Why?
Paul.
No, you don't need no parrot. You can
I
worry
had
about
one.
buying.
I had one before.
You can worry
That's
about
all you
buying
need.
a parrot if there's a band.
Yeah, but
Until then, don't worry about it.
This is a thermal parrot. They're hard to find.
Don't matter.
It does regular and thermal imaging.
Don't matter.
And I know that my buddy Joe would say buy that.
Your buddy Joe's just took you off his phone list and said no.
Paul, every time you think you should buy another drone,
Short.
remember that your property tax is due.
Yeah, but
Those props are short.
well, yeah, the drone's only about this big. But it's got a thermal imaging camera that really worked well when I had it. I sold it to a guy out in Minnesota or Wisconsin or something.
Look, their range is negative 10 degrees Celsius to 400 degrees Celsius on their thermal.
Yep.
And when you sold it, you probably gave it away.
It's a pretty good range.
What's the range on it?
It flew perfectly. It did everything.
No,
that
I'm
I
talking
would
about the
want it to
range
do.
on the
Oh, on the
degrees of the
camera.
thermal. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the temperature range that it can accurately read. I'm assuming.
21 megapixels.
But for their time, parrots were really good. And parrots on some of the parrot drones didn't. Their video stabilization was amazing for the time period.
They
They have really good video stabilization.
21
'Cause,
megapixels. They're gonna have to work on that camera.
Well, that's an older drone though too. But what
And
I'm saying is,
it comes in a hard case.
you're talking about a 5-6-year-old drone there though too, Jonathan.
That
But
one,
for the But for when that drone came out, that was top of the line. Like that was a good drone.
It was a perfect drone because now I lament the fact because I had both. I had DJI thermal and I had the Parrot thermal. I missed the
JD
Parrot.
said buy it, then find a second one to buy for a spare.
Do not buy it.
JD. Yes, and French made. Yeah, they were French made. Cool Cats, a French company.
that makes Parrot.
Yeah, they're owned by they're a French company.
What,
Even by
Paul-
today's
Paul,
standards,
see what
it's
other
not a
drones they
bad
got?
drone.
What's that?
Like,
Wait, no, they stopped making them, right? They stopped making
Parrot
they
still
still
makes drones, but it's more commercial type drones. They don't
They're
really
all
make
used in
hobbyists.
the shows.
But I mean, even by today's standard, that's not a bad drone. You could still get away with making.
Hey, look
decent
at
stuff with
it's
that.
right in your neighborhood too. Riverview, Florida.
That's nowhere near me. I'm in Winter Haven.
It's
I
in
want to say
Florida.
it's like, I want to say
Looks
it's
like
like
a
2 or
made-up
3
name.
hours from
Either is to Paul.
Riverview. I think I know where that.
What's the
Riverview.
flight time on that thing? Does it say?
14 minutes.
14 minutes.
I don't know.
No, 20 minutes.
Killing me right
Maximum
there,
flight
dude. You
time,
hurt my
25
feelings.
minutes.
I started to like it till you said that.
25 minute maximum flight time.
Riverview is probably about an hour and a half from me. It's not that far. I was thinking
I
somewhere
just
else.
brought up the specs. If you guys got it, can you see it?
JD said double that bid just to make sure you get it.
25 minutes. So you're really only looking at
Oh, you
about
fucking
18,
idiot.
19 minutes.
What's up, JD or TJ? JD's in the chat stirring the
DJ
pot.
said he wants to buy it. He's gonna buy it.
You're only
See
looking
what
at about
JD said? He said double the bid just to make sure you get it.
17, 18 minutes.
Maximum control range is 12,000. No,
That's
120,
it's about 2.5 miles,
2.5 miles. Yep.
roughly.
You know, but but for having a small
Stop.
drone like that that does both
Stop.
video and thermal.
And doesn't it record both simultaneously too?
Yeah,
So you can
yes.
have a video of each?
You
I
get,
think that was one of the cool things about it at the time.
Yep.
Was you could record in thermal and regular and you could have a video of both.
Yep.
So you could go back and look at both videos.
So yeah, because on the DJI, you had to hit record for thermal and then you had to switch to regular, and this does them both at the same time. As soon as you hit the record button, it's recording both.
I mean, and look at the flight time on it. 25 minutes wasn't bad for 6 years ago. That's actually pretty good.
And it'll
'Cause
do time lapse
Stop.
too.
that's not much more than what like a mini and stuff gets these days.
4
Especially
batteries.
The
Especially-
mini, you get about
the mini
25
gets
off
good.
a mini, but the time rated on it is 31. It's always 5, 6, 7 minutes less than you
right,
know
but
what
I'm
what the
saying
time
for
is.
that wasn't bad for the time period though. 'Cause
Well,
like I
yeah.
said, you
Yeah.
got to think 6, 7 years
So,
ago.
yeah,
You know,
probably right about that. I
Was
wasn't
it-
flying them back then though.
most drones back then had like a 12 to 15 minute flight time. You know, so that wasn't bad for back then. That would have gave you probably 20 minutes, 19 minutes, somewhere in there.
Right. About 18, 19 minutes. If you ain't using too many features.
It's comparable with the Mavic Pro and the Air 2.
You got more flight time out of the air too.
The Air 2 was rated for 30 minutes, I think.
31.
Something like that.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
30,
Should I,
31, something like that.
Joe,
Yeah.
should I hit that button?
No,
No, Paul,
no,
you
you've been
don't
on it
need
too
it.
long. Get off of it.
Cause then you'll buy it, and then 2 days later you're gonna be like, "Why did I buy it?" And
No,
then you're gonna end up returning it.
Free shipping.
Wait until they do a ban, and then worry about buying another drone.
Yeah, but
If
there
the
may
ban
not
goes-
be one available by then.
If the ban goes through,
Well,
then you
it's
can
gonna be a
worry
challenge,
about buying
maybe.
another drone.
you got at least 5 years before you got to worry about it.
But see, I could hit one of the. Right,
I think you should buy it right now.
Yeah, that's what
No.
I'm thinking.
I think you should buy it. In fact, I think you should buy it and go to the next one on the list and buy it too.
Hey, Paul, just get your bank
You
account,
read
go down to the
JD's
river and
chat,
throw it in the river.
Donald.
Do what?
You said exactly what JD said in the chat. He said buy it and then buy. JD said double the bid just to make sure he gets it.
Yeah.
Just get all the money you have in the bank, and just run down to the
'cause-
river and throw it in the river. That's
'cause
all you need to do.
I know he enjoy half the fun in doing this is for you guys to scare him away.
Well-
No, don't buy it, don't buy it, don't buy it. I'm fine. Have fun, buy it.
Paul, you could just PayPal me half the money and I won't even kick you in the nuts for it. All right? You have
I'm
to give me
trying to
all
eat
of
these
it. Just give
chicken
me
nuggets,
half.
and these chicken nuggets is not going down right because you're making me nervous.
That a boy, Murray flex those big balls. Oh my God, JD.
Okay, I did it. I did it.
You better not have.
He had
I
already
did
done
it
it. I
because-
heard when he clicked the button. He did it about 2 minutes ago.
Where's Corey or David so they can remote access his computer and shut it off?
Because you guys have convinced me that the
sake.
ban is going to happen, and I don't want to be without a drone that I can fly.
You can worry about that later.
No,
Even if they put a ban in tomorrow, you
But
still
Joe-
gonna
Still
have.
be able to fly your drone.
It's not gonna be overnight.
but you know what? I heard whispering in my ear was Joe going, "Buy it, buy
A lot of times when they pass a law,
That
there's
wasn't
a
Joe, that was Donald.
there's an effect date, and usually it's months out. It's or even a year out. It won't be overnight. Oh, for fuck's sake! Daryl, if you want to buy a Parrot drone in about 2 weeks, let me know. I'll find you a great deal.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
It's a thermal drone. Yeah, Jonathan, if you need a thermal drone in about 2 weeks, let me
I
know.
was thinking about that too. Boy, I'm gonna
I'll
get
get
rid
you
of that
guys a
thing.
great deal from some friend I know. I got a buddy that likes to buy stuff on the cheap and or likes to buy high and sell low.
How you make any money that way?
It's
Volume.
It's only because
Volume, yeah, volume.
hey, you know what? You guys will look back at this, and I only did it because Justin and Joe said to buy it.
Oh, don't even
I
put my name on
I was
that.
hesitant. You
No,
know,
don't put my name on there. I never
Justin
said
and Joe
anybody.
said to buy. Didn't that
I
right,
told him
Jonathan?
no. I told everybody go to RC
Didn't
cars.
you hear that, Jonathan?
Nah, I heard wait about
I
5
said
years.
to go to RC cars. He could have bought a Traxxas.
No, Paul would have had to
you
go
like
to
to say
RC
you like to
boats.
save stuff, Paul. So all you had to do put your drones in the box and stick it in one of them corners with some other stuff that you
The
ain't
only
never
thing,
opened, and you'd have
the
been
only,
good.
the only thing I've been pushing is, like I said, JD's going to do a class. He's going to call it the Part 108, and it's going to teach you how to drive RC cars. It's only $2.99 a month.
I don't like RC cars.
It's only
There's already a
$2.99 a
Part
month for his
108.
course.
Wait a minute. We're gonna need a
There's
license for that now too.
Yeah, well, it's a JD license. It's called a Part 108.
There's already a Part 108.
Shut up, Mark.
Yeah.
Nobody asked you. It's between the Americans.
It really is.
And Paul needs a remote control boat, not a car.
No, don't need a remote.
And-
Oh yeah, remote
Yeah,
control.
boy, that was
boat,
you should
FPV.
find next. Get your remote control speedboat.
And I guarantee, yes, it was Justin and Joe
That's right.
that
Justin-
encouraged this
Justin
purchase.
encouraged it. Yep.
Because you guys didn't encourage it by saying buy it. You guys encouraged it by giving
By
him
saying
a
not
reaction
buy
of being like, no, and it encouraged him.
Well, and the first thing was it was a solid no, but then when they started looking the specs and everything it did and how good it was, they said, "Oh, that's probably a good buy."
I said
Yes,
how
but
bad
Paul,
it
you
was
did
when we
the
pulled up the
same
spec.
thing with the Inspire.
Yep.
Sure was, Mark.
Yep.
Where's the Inspire, Paul?
Oh,
Hi, Dre.
and there it is.
Come on
Dre
and
comes in
tell
the chat.
Paul he's done and
Oh, where's
Hey,
the
Joe?
Inspire?
Right, Joe? My buddy Joe is always looking out for my best interest.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mute him. That's enough out of you.
That's funny.
Where's the Inspire, Paul?
It went back. I got paid for it.
It went back.
Yeah.
You just bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent it back, got his money back. So you just keep
It
doing that.
arrived
I'm gonna go in the back and get one of them guns, and then I'm gonna pick it up and start showing it. That way we get you banned and we don't have to worry about you anymore.
Like
it
I
arrived
said,
with
if
some bits missing, and when they sent the bits, they never got there.
Yeah,
So
they
he
sent
it back.
Jonathan, they sent it in 2 packages. I got the drone, but I
Like I
didn't
said,
get the goggles
John-
and the other things that were supposed to be in a second package. And UPS said they lost it, and so finally, eBay got involved and got me my money back. They had me send it back, and I didn't cost me anything to send it back. They just gave me a
like I
link.
said, Jonathan, if you need a thermal drone, I got a lineup. I'll get you a great deal, small finder's fee, you know.
I just hate having to learn a new operating system, man. Really, that's really my thing. I don't like.
All these people worried about all of this.
Yeah, see.
No, see,
Joe
I
was
think
very
Joe's
accepting.
No, Joe's plan is he's trying to crash all his drones so his insurance will pay out, and then you don't have to worry about reselling them later. That's
Yeah.
what he's doing.
So don't do me a favor, Justin.
He's running
Don't
them into the
ask
river
Joe-
one at a
don't
time.
Ask Joe where he got that plan from. Because he ain't gonna be the only one. I promise you.
Yeah, that's what you need to do is just over the course of like 6 months, just keep running them into the water
6 months.
to get
Boy,
that
probably ain't
payout.
gonna take me that long. I live in
JD,
Georgia. We got nothing but trees.
by the way, JD, you might want to get you an affiliate link with Amazon set up that or your whatever your favorite RC company is, and we can start dropping your affiliate link for all these drone pilots.
They're gonna need that fix. Yep.
Yep. Telling you, dude, we can make you some money.
I already got my fix. My fix, let's
Jesus.
just get my fishing pole and start fishing again. They're not gonna ban fishing pole.
I'll be
How
fine until they
much has he
ban dune
just
buggies.
spent on that drone?
In fact, a new Halo's supposed to be coming out.
I've
You
just
got
looked on
Fortnite
eBay
now. I pull up my Call of Duty account.
here.
Yeah.
Para and
No, I guess-
Nafi drone thermal £4,950
Yeah, exactly.
plus £17.75 postage.
Oh, you should go see Jonathan. You can get you need to start looking around Facebook Marketplace or maybe some pawn shops so you can get a good deal on Xbox.
No. Certain things I don't buy from the pawn shop. If
All
I'm
right,
gonna
well then
get a
go get
damn
one then.
console, I need a brand new one, number one, so I can insure it. Number two, and I know it's gonna last. I ain't about to run into no problems like next week type business.
All right. Well, you need to go to the store today and get you one.
Nah, wait. I got to wait to see what happens, man.
Did you get that insurance on your drone? We can go ahead and wreck that tomorrow. You should have a new Xbox by Tuesday.
Listen,
Mm.
everything in that
Lightning
bag
has
is
been
insured.
detected
You
in
don't
your
hear me.
area.
Oh, Lord help.
Everything in
What was
bag.
that? What was detected in your area?
Lightning.
Oh, I thought it said tornado. I was like, oh shit.
Get all of them. Get all of them paid for real quick.
Go stick them all out on the porch and let the fucking tornado take them.
Yeah, I was outside putting them out, and cleaning them, and all of a sudden the tornado took them off.
See, there's a thing called obstacle avoidance I've never used. Yeah.
Like I said, yeah, you're gonna need to do that and get your like I said, I've already been pushing $2.99 a month for your classes. It's called the Big D 108. It's gonna be the new license for RC cars.
Look, I just hate that I bought
That's the only big D you got. That's what happened
There
with
it
you
is.
when you went to Chippendales. They said, "Hold on, man, you stand out because you only like about this big."
Is that comparison to like an ant or something like?
They said we'd have to put you in a midget lineup.
Well, I'll get Tim started on midgets. Jonathan remembers that whole conversation. No,
That's
see,
good.
JD,
If your
Jay-
RCs are connected to the CCP, that means that you cannot be using the airwaves to communicate with them, so they might get banned.
No,
Nope,
see,
not gonna
JD,
happen.
as long as as long as you teach in your course to not break little kids' ankles in the park, then you shouldn't have any regulations put on them. No looking up skirts and no breaking ankles.
Hey, Donald, that'll be the fastest way to get the lawsuits from the police department and all of that. Because if they start banning the frequencies, they're gonna all jump into it because they say, "Hey, we're doing our job out here. Stop."
I heard the same thing about drones.
Yeah,
But that's
watch.
what this entire thing. That's what this entire bill is. They are
It depends.
rejecting it on the FCC level.
But like I said,
But
it depends
future
if the government.
FCC level.
Yeah, but the government could come in and dangle a bunch of big grants in front of the police department and say, "Well, we're going to give you a bunch of money instead," and
They're
they
not
may
gonna do
take that.
Nope, they're doing this retroactive. If they're talking about our drones that are in the air now are going to become illegal because of this, they're using our airwaves.
That's not what.
'Cause that's what they
not
did
what
in
Vic
Florida.
Moss said. Vic Moss said he talked to Stefanik and she said it's not retroactive. They're pushing
So,
for 5 years.
any drones that are purchased right now are fine.
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, but
They
what
said
she
5 years.
told Vic,
I heard that too. I'm still waiting to see what the end result is.
yeah, but she could have lied to Vic the same way Scalise lied to you, though, too. I don't mean that's right. Like I said, the politicians aren't going to tell you every little thing because if there's some national security reason behind it, then there's obviously some secret shit going on in the background. They're not going to tell you about that.
It's no secret shit going on. All they're worrying about, she's trying to make her name known, so maybe she'll think that Trump's gonna make her vice president. And ain't never gonna happen.
Mm.
She doesn't have the clout to be the vice president.
Sounds to me she doesn't have the brains to be a vice president, although we've got the worst president and the dumbest vice president in the history of the United States.
Now, was Scalise a Congress or Senate, Joe?
He's Congress.
Okay, because Dre's the guy that Joe actually knows personally that's a congressman.
Yeah.
he asked him if he was gonna vote on it. He told Joe no,
He said,
and
he
it
said
turned out he did vote
this-
on it. He
well, this is
voted
what he
yes.
said. He said that bill for the drones would never pass. Now, he didn't finish it all to say, but if it's added into the defense bill, we gotta pass the defense bill. I'm gonna give him that benefit of the doubt because it got added in at the last minute. If by itself, I don't think it would have passed. And again, like I'm saying, it was so party line. When it gets over to the Senate and it goes party line again, Democrats aren't gonna pass it. Unless
Oh, we'll have to
the
see.
Republicans
I don't
cave
know,
and
didn't
put gazillion
Democrat,
dollars in for Ukraine.
but Joe, wasn't the vote pretty close in the House? And there
218,
were,
210.
how
Now,
many-
no, the
210.
committee, it was lopsided. The House, not so much. But the committee, it was definitely
but
lopsided.
they
It was
got
like,
lots of Democratic votes in the House, right?
there was only one, I think it was like 50 something to
They
one
got two
in the
Democratic
committee.
votes passing it in the House.
Yeah, how come
And
there's
they
only
got
like
210
58
against.
people
So
voting in the committee and 428
Well, because
voting
the
in
committee forwards it to the whole
the House?
House, and then the whole
Right.
House votes on it.
Yeah, so they didn't like the defense bill in the House because it doesn't have enough money for Ukraine and all other little projects they want. So when it gets to this, and that's why they all voted against it. Now it got junked in there.
Does that say
Now it's
that
over to the
committee
Senate
were
now, and the
majority
same people are gonna say, well, we're not gonna vote for it, and you don't have enough to vote for it. So
All right, Dre, you need to come on the panel. You can't be in the chat talking like that.
Okay.
yeah, that bill will never get approved if they're not voting for it. The Democrats aren't voting for it in the House. They're not gonna vote for it in the Senate.
Dre
It's
said
too
it'll get
one-sided
approved.
right now.
Dre says it'll
So-
get approved because they slid
No,
it
well-
in the package.
It's in the package. It got approved, but the Democrats, Dre, all the Democrats except for two voted against it. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
apparently.
pass in the Senate because the Democrats are gonna stick together.
Yeah, but when it gets to the Senate, it still is the whole package.
But
Yeah,
the thing
it's the
is,
same
is
thing.
Chop it up.
the thing is that the Democratic congressman may have fell on one side, but you don't know where the senators are going to go. With it.
They're still
They
gonna
could
say
go
the
a whole
same thing.
different
I
direction.
guarantee it.
Hey, Dre.
Because they're not gonna cut each other's throat.
Good morning.
Is it?
Yes, it is a good morning, Mark. Or good afternoon to you, sir.
See, I was just trying to get a bill passed to anybody named Joe, and I was going to slip it in there with the anti-Australian bill to keep Matt out of the country. All
But-
one fell swoop.
But just like Joe was saying, in today's politics, unlike years or decades in the past where you had a few independent-minded individuals, everybody's too afraid to stand up because they're worried about getting primaried out.
Mhm.
So a lot of times they fall in line just to save their own behinds, and it will go through. Now the only difference with the House only has a 3-4 vote majority for the Republicans now, but the
Yeah,
Senate
not much.
the Senate as current state has a 1 vote majority for the Democrats. So it all depends how it's going to go party line. Now the president's already said he's going to sign it, and that's what I'm saying. That by itself, this bill wouldn't see the light of day. But now they slid it under the NDAA Act. It's going to get passed because nobody wants to be seen as not supporting the military.
Because that's what I
That's
said.
point- that's point blank.
Yeah.
But see, in that package for the military, I believe I read there's a 19% pay hike for junior enlisted.
No, they
So
took
you-
that back.
I took it back.
Yeah, they said it was gonna be a 20% pay hike, and Biden
Right.
said he doesn't approve on it. He doesn't want that.
Okay, so
He said he wants a lot less.
okay, so there's going to be a pay hike. Don't know what it is,
Obviously,
but
you
it's
don't
going to
give
be
a
a
shit
pay
about
hike.
the military.
Not well, his son was in it when it died and stuff. So I
Yeah,
think
the one that
has-
the one that he has to bring up at every soldier's funeral or freaking when it's about that soldier, he has to put that in every damn time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
okay,
he takes
Justin.
away. No, I'm saying
He's-
every time there's a soldier that's supposed to be
m-
getting an
maybe he's
honorary
doing-
medal or something, he
give
always
him the benefit-
overshadows their
Give him
story
the
with
benefit
the
of the doubt.
sons.
He's trying to commiserate and to
Well,
I'm just saying, I feel like he takes away from that.
I feel like this here. When somebody has a family member who has passed away for whatever reasons, we all grieve in different manners. And I feel I'm not going to degrade somebody who brings up a passed away child, passed away parent, or whatever else at whatever opportunity that suits him, because this might be part of his grief process by not forgetting. Now, I have no doubt this man's mental capacity is like my parents. My parents are my mom's in her late 80s, my dad's in his mid 90s. I just had 2 conversations last night, repetitive conversations that we've had before within a week. And it's almost like it's brand new to them. So I know how this is. They repeat things to keep remembering things and so on. So I think the same thing with Biden. I'm just saying it happens in old people for the most part, that they say things to keep their memory going and the memory of those that are no longer here. So I can't knock him for that. And so just like if you ran into somebody who lost a brother, son, whatever it is, in Desert Storm, and just like there's a guy that comes on, what's his name? Paul Widgeon show. He said his therapy is flying his drones in memory of his son. His son died of suicide. And they created a foundation and everything else for his son for mental health well-being.
Just
So
saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying Biden never brings up his crackhead son. He
Justin,
always seems to ignore those questions.
You know
Justin,
what?
it probably depends on who he's talking to as well.
You know,
Justin.
he doesn't go to a a fundraiser for a rehabilitation center and say my son's a crackhead. I know what
Justin,
you're
you
feeling.
don't know that. It may not make it to the airwaves, but if somebody talks about losing a family member to cancer, a lot of us try to commiserate and try to connect with those people. Say, I lost my dad or my cousin to that.
No, I'm talking about his crackhead son.
And it's a
yeah.
Okay, but he's not talking to crackheads at the time, and you don't know that he hasn't had those conversations to other people.
Well, the whole thing of that is Justin.
But to hold it against him for trying to commiserate with people, and you don't
No,
feel
but
he's
I
doing it in the way
think if
that
you're
you
there-
would do is wrong. There's
No,
lots
but
of things that you can complain about, but that's not one of them.
I'm just saying, I feel like if a soldier's getting an honorary medal, you shouldn't take away from his thing
It's
there
not
to
taking away;
constantly
it's
bring your
commiserating.
son
It's
up.
trying to connect.
It's like I
I
say,
don't know. That's just my
why
personal feeling.
that's the one thing I have heard from both sides of the fence, a Republican and Democrat, is that Joe Biden is the most empathetic president we have ever had because of his loss with his wife. Yeah, think what this guy's lost. No, Mark, let me finish, Mark. Please let me finish this, Mark. He lost his wife. He lost it. Oh, Mark, let me finish. He lost his wife early on in the 70s, car accident. He loses his one of his sons brain cancer here in the 2000s. So this is a man who has lost a lot over his lifespan. Okay. So when somebody says they lost a family member to an accident, he can empathize with that. He lost a family member who served, who was cancer is being related to military service. He can empathize with that. Even with the what's his name out there, the crackhead, as Justin says, how many people out there have family members who are alcoholics or drug abusers? And now he can empathize with that.
I think everybody's family has at least one of those.
There you go. So now he can empathize with that.
Yeah, Justin, if you want to talk about,
I would just like to hear him, call his son a crackhead once in a while because he always seems to ignore that question.
Well, Justin, is that supporting his son? Because I already hear him say, "I'm the president, but I'm also a father, so I support my son irregardless." Now, the one thing he said that I thought was very stand up of him. We'll see if it holds true if he leaves the White House next year. They said he wouldn't pardon his son, regardless.
I hope he doesn't too.
You know what? That's very technical. Would you think Trump would do that?
Hey, Dre.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
Hey, honestly,
I don't know what anybody would do unless they were in that situation.
Hey,
so.
Dre, just to clarify,
can't
you
say
said
he
that
wouldn't.
he's the most empathetic, or did you just say pathetic president?
No, I didn't say pathetic, Paul.
Okay.
I didn't say pathetic.
And the majority of things that he's lost are his faculties.
Well, like I say, how many of us are the same age as
That-
he is?
Mhm. And you guys
Still
can make
fine.
the other arguments if you want to talk about
Okay,
his
I'm out of
faculties.
that
That's
argument.
fine. If you want to talk about diminished faculties, that is a different conversation. If you talk about his policies, that is a conversation that should be had that pertains to the job.
Mhm.
Talking about how he empathizes with other people and how you think he should is
No.
ridiculous.
Yeah, like I said, he has his own experiences and loss, and like I say, he has a unique ability to connect with other people, regardless of what the situation may be. And like I say, he stood up and said, "I'm not going to pardon my son if he's convicted, whatever." And I sit here and say, anybody's panel, you could say with great confidence that Trump would say the same thing about any of his kids, because he don't even do it for his buddies. He pardoned all his little knucklehead buddies who were caught red-handed, convicted, and he pardoned them.
Who did?
Trump.
So
Which guys are you talking about?
Oh, what about
No, I
Roger
generally don't
Washington?
know what you're. I generally don't know what you're
Oh,
talking about. so that's
Roger
why I'm asking.
Stone. Roger Stone got pardoned.
I don't know who that is.
You see what I'm
I must
saying? You're talking without knowing the facts, there, Justin.
I just admitted I don't know what you're talking about. That's
Like
why I was
said,
asking.
You go ahead and Google who Roger Stone is.
I admit when I don't know about it.
Yeah.
And that's why I
So
asked.
that's what I'm saying. That everybody wants to blame this guy, and I say he ain't the greatest. He ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. I give him that from day one. Even when he was a senator, he wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. But he is, I would say, character-wise, he's fairly stand up as far as an individual and his morals and his goals and standards. He's pretty stand up. He does
Well,
what he
hold on.
says. Doesn't mean he says everything right, but he stands by what he does say.
Al, I thought we were doing Lloyd for president and Dre for vice president.
No, neither one. Yeah. So I'm just saying, when you like Donald was saying, as far as his ability of being president, that's going to be for debate. Just like our buddy Trump there, it's going to be up for debate for many, many years down the road, and where they
Yeah, and
rank
that's a
at
valid
amongst
that's a valid debate.
Yeah, but when you look at somebody's actual character, you have to go by their behavior and how they respond to certain situations.
For example, Jimmy Carter was arguably a bad president, but his
Jimmy
moral
Carter.
character,
Unquestionable.
you cannot reproach him on his
Yeah.
moral character. When asked if he'd ever cheated on his wife, he says, "I've lusted in my heart, and that's enough." It's like,
Mhm.
wow.
Mhm.
There you go.
Who's this?
This is all the
us?
people that Biden has pardoned.
Okay.
Okay.
Betty Jo Boggins,
Oh,
Okay.
Sen-
Possession with
Oughta.
intent to distribute.
Yeah.
Trump did the same
Wow.
thing for a lady.
A lot of
yeah,
stuff.
well,
Because-
almost every president
So,
has
Secret Service
pardoned.
agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
There's-
talking about family members. People,
Yeah,
family
almost,
members, and direct people on your campaign.
Actually, I think Trump actually pardoned the most criminals
oh,
out of prison that were
Come here.
sentenced to long terms for
He did.
not so they weren't really considered violent crimes, but they got like a crazy amount of jail time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he actually did the most pardons of people like that.
Yeah.
I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he had the record.
So that list right there.
But
shows,
every president
Biden's
does that.
pretty empathetic towards the crackheads, because there's quite a few crackheads on that
Yep.
list,
a
Justin.
lot of drug convictions. Yep.
I'm saying there's a lot of presidents that every president has a whole list of people they end up pardoning. You just don't hear about half of them.
Dude, that might have
Yeah.
been Hunter's dealers. You never know.
Hunter's
been.
friends and family.
I mean, I'll give it to him I'll give it to him if he does not pardon his son by the time he's out of office, whether it's a year or 4 years from now, then I will give it to him because I
Well,
think that
Well,
he
Justin,
deserves to face whatever shit he
Yeah.
did.
well, I put it like this. Well, we'll find
Yeah.
out in November, because if November comes and Trump's back in office, you're gonna have to January. Was it the 20th? They do the inauguration.
Yeah, something
January
like that, yeah.
20th. So he once he leaves that date, he don't have authority to pardon nobody.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. We'll have to see. But for the most part, Joe Biden has said some really stupid stuff over the years, all the years he's been in government positions, and but at least he stands by him. He's consistent in that.
Mhm.
I give him that much. Yeah.
So is the defense bill, does that have to go through the Senate and get passed as well?
Yes, that's where
Yeah.
it's at now. It's in the
So
Senate
the
now.
all that chunk of the drone bill and all that's still together and has to go through the Senate and get passed as well, right?
It's
It's-
all
it's
under
all
it's
in
all
the
under
same
one
bill.
bill.
Under one
Okay.
bill.
And that's why
So
I'm saying they you dig it
yeah,
in deep.
so I
under one
kind of
bill.
agree with you. If it is, I don't think it's gonna fail.
No, it's not going to fail. If it's
No,
under that, unless somebody pulls it out of the bill, which at this point is not going to happen.
Now, has anybody specified like what's the deadline? Like, because I know a lot of times when they pass a bill, they'll have like a set date that's set out like 6 months or a year that says that's when it actually kicks in.
Well, every portion of the
Uh,
bill will have its own deadline, just like this drone.
Has anybody
act.
actually looked into that though and like gave
Well, like I
an
say, if
actual
it-
timeline?
They
Very-
can't set a date until after it happens.
Well, this is what, if it stays intact to what Stefanik proposed, there's a 5-year gap. And that's when all the tariffs and the extra $100 gets slapped on for the next 5 years. Then there will be a outright direct ban at that 5-year period. But
Which
leading
that
up to
gives
that-
me a little bit more of a sigh of like, okay, so it's not going to be.
So you
Because
could
the
get
way it's been
5 years
described
out
is,
of an Air 3.
after this passes, everything's gone.
So
That's
you'd
the way
be
it's
able
been
to get your
described.
money's
No,
worth out of an Air
and
3.
And I
if you
can put
decided to
enough
buy it.
work in on a drone to pay for it in 5 years.
Right.
We're talking,
Yeah.
we're talking two different bills though. The one
Well, like
that's
I say-
tied into it is the CCP Act. The one
Right.
that says, they talk about the future frequencies. In other words, the DJI could not immediately sell any more drones in the United States.
Right,
The
after a
other
5-year
one-
gap.
So that's the other one.
Well, like I said, we'll see how it gets worked out.
You saying if they pass this bill 5 years from now, they can turn around and start selling drones in the US?
No,
No,
it will-
that's
there
when
will
the
be
ban
no-
would take effect.
That's when the ban.
That
will
was
take
the
complete
First
effect.
Responders Act.
Right.
First
So
Responders
there's
Act
gonna-
gave 5
That's when
years
it'll
of
be
tariffs.
to the point where we can't fly the ones we have, or
No, that still has not been addressed because only the FCC will have to make that determination.
right?
Not the Congress or Senate. And like I say, if the wording in that from the Congress and Senate says that the FCC can take action or will take action, there'll still be a timetable set for that to go into effect. They just can't come in
Broke neck,
after
what's
they
up?
vote on it and turn the lights out and says, we're all done. There has
Okay,
to
so
be a
that's
transition
what the
period.
5 years is then.
Right, the 5 years is a transition period where they're gonna add on tariffs 5% each year, because right now they're at 25%. So 5% each year plus $100 tax on tap on that. So like I say, what you pay for a Mavic 3 Pro is gonna cost probably much as what you pay for a Mavic 3 Enterprise now.
That's
that's
gonna
fair. You came in
that's gonna automatically happen if the bill
So
passes.
So $1,000 drone's gonna end up costing you like a 2,000 or 25, something like that.
Down the road, yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was the FCC bill that was going through at the moment.
It's the FCC
no.
bill right now. The first
DJI
responder one's not in there.
And the thing is, it's not, and like Daryl said, DJI ban, but technically it's not a DJI bill. It covers all Chinese drones. The only reason everybody keeps
Right.
calling that is because obviously DJI is the king out of all those.
Well,
They
Dre,
mentioned
did you
DJI
see-
in it.
It keeps getting labeled as the DJI
Ray,
bill.
did
but
you,
it's
It-
really
it-
not.
it- did the bin for him.
did you see a little earlier what Justin and Joe had me do?
I didn't have him do
Right
shit,
there.
Dre. Don't listen to him.
It
Oh, you
is
trying to
the
buy another Anafi?
Yep. That's
it is the FCC bill.
So
at the
Dre,
moment.
if you're looking
Only
for a thermal
perfect
drone in 2
DJI.
weeks, get up with me. I
Hey,
told
Dre,
Jonathan
I told Paul, go to the bank, get all your money out, go to the ribbon, throw it in.
You know
Isn't
what? I don't even think that was even 64512. Is it, Paul?
What's that? No.
Yeah,
No, it's
actually,
low res.
so that's low res. So that's no good. That's no good for any.
Oh
type
no,
of
the real
work.
expensive one I think goes for like $6,000 still.
Yeah,
the
that's
real
what I'm saying.
high-end one?
Yeah, Yeah.
It's like a 6 or 12 grand or some shit. It still goes for a ton of money.
And
Yeah.
the camera's 4K, 2.7K.
21 megapixel.
I wonder if it's like 4K 30 though, because that's
1080,
like a what, a 6-7 year old
720.
drone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
bet it's
said-
not even 4K 60. I bet it's like 4K 30.
I had one of those, Dre, and I missed it every time I.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you telling me you had that when you used to get
And
called
then he
out.
bought another one a year and a half ago, had it for 2 days and flipped it and sold it. But he actually made money off of it. He made about $400 from flipping it.
Yeah.
So
So it's like I tell a lot of people, you got to know what's the industry standard. Industry standard is still the 640 by 512 resolution. DJI just threw the gauntlet down about, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Daryl, I was in the chat. Al, when they put out a high definition thermal camera at full 1080p. And that's why I'm saying DJI is just kicking the industries behind because they keep being on the forefront of everything.
Yep.
And
Yep. They got everybody on the rope a dope, and they
Yeah.
come out with something new, and everybody's trying to catch up, and then they come out with something, and it's just in
Yeah.
order to stop them, somebody's gonna have to leapfrog them as
So
far
my whole-
as capabilities.
So my whole thing now is, okay, they want to ban all this DJI stuff or Chinese made drone stuff. And I'm saying they're the ones that's going to keep raising the industry standards. And guess what? The American manufacturers are going to never be able to catch up. It's just like, and me as a city worker, and they do this whole thing, comp studies, compare our salaries to other neighboring cities, stuff like that. And it always makes me laugh. They talk about, well, hey, we're going to give you guys this big pay, 9% pay raise over the next 5 years. And I'm going to say, I said, okay, what happens today? Because the neighboring cities are not going to hold their employees at their current wages over the next 5 years. We'll still be behind in 5 years. But they try to make you feel all good because you're getting an 8% raise over the next 5 years. I'm like, you think I'm stupid?
and
I
that
said,
really only breaks down to what, like 2.5% a year?
Yeah.
That's not that big of a
2% a year at the best.
Yeah.
And then they don't even calculate what's going to be inflation over the next 5
Yeah.
years, but they try to butter you all up. Because I went to this when I was a cop in Long Beach, where we were the second lowest paid department in the state of California. When we got done negotiating, we got a 12% pay raise. That when the negotiation ended, and then over the next 6 months, we got another 5%, 3%, then a 2% to bring us on par with everybody else with future pay raises to be established with the other comparable cities of the department our size. That is how you bring your people up to standards. You don't say, oh, I'm going to give you a pay raise over the course of the next several years and think everybody who you're compared to is going to sit there and hold their place. I said, you're still going to be behind by just as much as you are today and over the next 5 years.
But Sarah got an award at work yesterday for
Yeah.
oh,
What's
what
that
the hell
for?
was it? It was
Was it for glutton for
it was
punishment
like
award? Married to you?
it was yeah, funny. No, it was like
Oh, that's worker in the
something
building.
employee of the year or something like that. It was
Yeah.
here, let me read it. It was outstanding staff support and performance for the year.
And does that come with a cash benefit?
They're supposed to be giving her another raise next month for it, so. But she gets a raise like every 6 months. She got 3 in 1 year. In her first year, she got 3 raises, and she said, I think 1 or 2 this year already. Or she had 1 this year already, and this will be her second one.
So are they starting people out at a lower rate than they should be, and they just bring you up
No,
to what
they
you should be
offered
making
her-
in the industry?
She was making $14 an hour at her old job. They automatically offered her $5 more an hour to steal her away from the other company because of her experience.
Mhm.
And then they've significantly gave her 50-cent raises every time, which isn't bad. I mean, to have that many raises in 1 year, most jobs, you're lucky to get 1 a year.
Yeah. Well, like I
So-
say, like I said, they do comp studies and the thing like they stole her from another company. If other companies are paying their employees significant amount of money more, you know, her company got to step up to the plate and say, we want to keep our employees here. We got to start paying them or sweeten the compensation or the benefit package, something. So people
Right.
start heading out the door. And I guess that's why we see it all the time at cities where people will come onto a job knowing they apply for maybe two different entities, either the city or the county. Whoever calls first, they'll go there for a little while. And then when the other job calls that pays maybe $1.50 more an hour, they jump ship.
Mm-hmm.
Or the
But
other place got better benefits. They might have like I say, I know here in California, I don't know where you guys are at, but working for a water department or water district, 9 times out of 10, you'll have lifetime medical. That's like gold. Lifetime medical. That means even when you retire, your medical is paid for.
Yeah, that's really good benefits.
Yeah. So that's a big incentive for people, you know, and that don't include just you, that includes you and your whole family. Lifetime medical. So you and the wife would be covered.
But this company's been really good to her, so.
Yeah, that's the thing companies have to do to keep good employees. You know, they got to compensate them one way or another to keep them around, because nobody wants to be taken advantage of. And just like you and your wife situation, I mean, inflation is still going up. Okay.
Oh, for sure, especially.
Like I say, you know, you got to fill the truck up. You want to go to the grocery store, and like I say, you feel like, hey, we're falling behind every time, and it seems like we can't get ahead.
Yeah, because when they hired Sarah, they asked her how much she was making an hour, and they said, well, what would you think about? I think they initially offered her 3, and she was like, "Oh, that's not really that much." And they said, "Well, how about we bump it up to 5, and you can start immediately?" And she was like, "Yep."
There you go.
And like I said, and the other job that she was at, she was there for I think 3 or 4 years, and they never gave her a raise but one time. And this company has given her like 5 raises in a 2-year period.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that's the company she's working for is also like 10 times bigger than the one she was working for too.
Well, I always say, you know,
Baycare.
yeah, I always say, Justin, you know, a lot of companies have, if they don't know, they need to realize their employees are their biggest asset.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and a lot of companies don't see it that way. They always look at their bottom line and say, well, we got to make sure our bottom line is a certain percentage. So we don't give out no raises. We don't add to your benefits. Just like my city for a while, I think it was, when we went to a bankruptcy back in 2011, our city stopped paying. They reduced the amount of benefit package as far as who pays what higher percentage, and basically, during that 6-year period, I would say close to a third of my paycheck, my yearly earnings, was going towards my own benefits. So that sucked. So I was paying majority costs of my medical for my family, dental, all that kind of stuff. I was paying out of my pocket. And at the time, the city was even matching my retirement input.
That sucks.
Yeah.
What did they match you up like? Because when I worked for Walmart, mine was I think the highest they'd go was 6%.
Yeah, it varies. Different companies, different cities, entities, whatever, it varies. And that's why I say, the ideal situation that you want them to match you dollar for dollar. That's probably the best you can get there, unless somebody's like a real high finance situation where they're gonna take care of 100%. And you don't have to pay nothing into it. They calculate it on what it is for whatever your position is off your yearly salary, and the company puts it all in for you. That's the dream situation, right there. And so, but like I say, it's always a gamble. That's why you say, you know, even with certain states, it's like you have the states with the right to work situation and stuff, it can wreak havoc on employees in certain companies.
Oh yeah, we're right to work here.
Yeah, And,
I
and
hate
that, and that determines a lot between what your benefit package is as far as a 401k plan and all that kind of stuff. That comes into play a lot.
Well, and then they can, you know, you really have no protections in a right to work state as an employee.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have no protections. You don't have it's very hard to file a case against an employer for unlawful we call it employment acts or whatever. And the EEOC doesn't have a lot of pull in those kind of states compared to other states.
Yeah, because remember that whole thing when we were talking about when Paul was trying to get me to get a lawyer, I was like, man, I really don't work in Florida because it's right to work.
Mm-hmm.
And they can let you go for any reason they feel like.
Yep.
I mean, it could be a stupid excuse. We just don't want you anymore.
Right.
I mean, they don't even have to really have a reason.
Right. And that's why I say, most places do that if you're on a probationary status, but once you clear probation, you have certain rights as far as recourse if they try to terminate you in other places.
Well, and then some companies like Walmart, they would set their policies just slightly better than the state would require, which would make it even worse because then they, you know what I'm saying? Then it showed that they weren't even as harsh as the state was, which would make it even harder for you to put a case against them. Because like I said, they would always put their policies slightly better than the states to make themselves look good.
Yeah.
You know, if the state said, oh, you had to pay a minimum $8 an hour, they'd pay $9. Or if they said, oh, you had to give them at least 32 hours a week, Walmart would give you 34. You know, they were always slightly better.
Yeah. Sears used to play that game. Sears was notorious for everybody worked for Sears was part-time. And it would work you up to about, I think the maximum you get like 38 hours.
Yeah, I think you have to work for 40 hours for 12 weeks straight, I think, before they have to make you full-time, I think it is.
Well, the biggest thing, I don't know about full-time status, because like I say, Sears would consider you, but as they say, full-time for their position, but for paying benefits, you would still be part-time, which you may not get any benefits.
Oh yeah, Walmart does that all the time. They'll work you 36, 38 hours a week, just right under the cusp.
Right on the cusp, so they don't have to give you no benefits. So that means you get no sick time off coverage. Vacation is very little to none. You have to work almost 2 years to get 2 days off and stuff. So I mean, those are the games they play. They either play with your hours, or they just reduce the benefit package, or all that kind of good stuff. So, well, let me see, Joe, you got kids and stuff, man. What are they doing for you for Father's Day?
I'm going over my daughters. My other one called me this morning from North Carolina, and then the other one's sleeping right now.
Coming over to see if they can borrow $20.
Probably want to borrow more than that.
Borrow $20 for some gas so they can take them out to a dinner
that he has to pay for.
Yeah.
No, she got me. I almost didn't want to go over there. She got me so mad at her. She had a really good job working nights as a nurse, making good money, working 3 days a week, and the baby daddy, let's put it that way, the one that ain't worth a shit, says you need to start working days instead of nights like that so that you're here with the baby and all of this, because he didn't want to handle the baby 3 nights a week. So she switched the job to a 3 day a week, 12-hour day job. That's a home health care type of job.
Yeah.
And she's been in it 2 days. She's been in it 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, she's made like $50.
Wow.
Because they haven't been able to assign her to anybody. So she can't go back to her old job.
Oh wow.
And I told her, I said, I'm gonna just tell you, you're stupid. That's what I told her. I said, this happens to you all the time, and you continue to do it, you don't learn from it. I said, find a job, and if he don't like it, tell him move his ass out.
Yep.
I said, because your mama's there, and she'll take care of the baby. You know? I said, but quit listening to him. He ain't half of the time he
bug out.
Half of the time Jonathan, he calls out of work.
Bye, Jonathan.
Again, happy Father's Day to everybody. Y'all enjoy, man.
All
All right,
right.
Jonathan.
Yeah, you
Thank
too.
you, Jonathan.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
Donald, I hope
Yeah.
you got a better story than Joe's.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to hear from either of them.
Oh,
will.
wow.
So
I mean, it's what 9:30 on the West Coast here, and these
it's 11.
well,
It's 11:30 right here.
I've already got a good morning, Dad. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, Justin walked in at 6:15 this morning, and when he opened the door, he said, "Happy Father's Day." And he said, "Now I was going to stop at PJ's and bring you something, but I didn't feel like waiting till 6:30."
Mm.
They said, "You got to wait till later."
Yeah.
He had a long night. He was ready to go to bed.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get that stuff, man. But like I always say, it don't take much effort to pick up a phone, make a phone call.
Nah, just shoot a text.
Yeah, even that, you know.
Now, what do you
So-
guys feel about somebody texting you something like that? Because
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, that's good.
well, I'm just saying because the newer generation tends to be more okay with texting, or I've heard older people kind of complain about that.
I'll put it like
So-
this: when Mother's Day came around, I went and bought my mom a card, and I dropped it off. Just like you're saying, Justin, it's a different generation.
Yep.
And I make that
Well,
extra
that's why I
effort
was
for my
curious
mom.
what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, it depends who it is. It depends who it is. I make the extra effort for my mom. My dad, it's that manly thing where he don't expect no cards, all that kind of stuff. He knows who he is. He knows what he's done, and I don't need to, do much. Now, he did call me last night, so when I go over to Wednesday, I have a task to do. Somehow he's managed to lose the picture on his screen of the computer. And I can say, when you're talking to somebody who's 93 years old, you don't want to have a long conversation about it.
Yeah.
You just tell them, hey, I'll be over there and I'll fix it when I get there. Yeah, that's about it.
Yep.
And like I said, I bought my son's watches. So their watches are sitting here at the house, for Father's Day. So they need to come by and get their watches. They don't know, but
Oh, what kind of watches you get them?
I got my Invictus. Nice. We call those type of watches the 3 different dials. Don, you know what I'm talking about. I want to say chronographs or whatever.
Yeah, chronograph.
Yeah, chronograph style watches
Mhm.
and stuff. They're nice.
You didn't get him a Rolex?
No, I'm waiting to get mine first.
Yeah.
Then I share the wealth.
See, they got a company right now on coming on Facebook. They're selling them for $200.
Yeah, right.
What are you, Paul shopping on Facebook?
It keeps popping up on mine. It says Rolex, and it's $219. I said, "Yeah,
There you go,
gonna-
Joe. Buy it, Joe.
it's gonna
buy
be
it.
it's gonna be
buy it.
missing an O or having a U at a
Yeah,
Rolex."
yeah. I was gonna say it's probably got 2 X's at the end or something.
And say full X on it.
Yeah.
I had one a long time ago. A friend of mine, when I was working at Common Point Mortgage, he went up to New York City, and he was in a band. I can't remember the band's name, but Terry Hatcher was one of the groupies. He used to go out to the band all the time.
Mhm.
So he was going up to New York City, and he said, "I'm gonna bring you back something." And he walks in and he hands me the Rolex from New York City. He bought it on the street for $20.
Wow.
It lasted for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy selling sunglasses one day outside of what was it we were at? I think a baseball game or something. And they literally said J-Bans on them, but they look like Ray-Bans. I was like, really, dude? I was like, you couldn't even get the lettering right. I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go again. Indigestion.
Joe, I'm listening to you. I bought it. So
You
You
didn't listen
bought
to me.
what? What did he buy?
He bought that Anafi.
Oh my God.
And then he's trying
He
to
didn't-
blame me and Joe for it.
He didn't listen to me.
well, I listened to the two of you. You said that's a great price. Get it.
No, that's a bad price. Don't
Right
touch
now?
it.
No,
And
they
I-
said
I-
don't get it, which encouraged you to get it.
And I just told you, don't even meet the industry specs. So why did you waste the money on it?
He did it earlier before you were on here, Dre.
No,
Yeah.
no, he showed me the, oh, he already bought it?
Yeah,
he
he'd
showed
already
it to me?
bought it.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, if you weren't in the chat making snide comments at JD, you could have been in here saving him.
well, JD needed some medicine, so he's all right now. I gave a spoonful of Act-Right.
Well, heck, right?
Yeah. So you want some of this Act-Right?
Yeah.
Just keep it up. I'll give you some of this Act-Right. Just keep it up.
Is that right?
I got a couple more hours left to do on this stupid spreadsheet, so I'm going to take a
You
break
calling it,
for
Don?
my eyeballs for a bit.
Okay.
So I'm going
I
to
think
take
Don's
off.
Hey,
calling.
Donald,
Donald.
I think we're about ready to call it, aren't we?
Well, have a
Yeah, I
good
gotta
day,
get ready. I
Donald.
gotta go to the daughters.
Yeah.
Happy
yeah.
Father's Day.
Joe's
All right.
got to go
And we
get
are.
some food. Dre, thanks for coming in and giving me the thumbs up on the Anafi.
Yeah, right. Anytime, Paul. Oh man.
Justin, you have a good day and enjoy that
All
cake.
Yeah.
He sent Sarah out to get him.
I did not send her
What?
out. I didn't
What?
even want any. No, I didn't want anything.
He says,
No.
"Go get me
He
that
said, "You
cake."
better
I
go
didn't
get me a
want
cake.
nothing for Father's Day, and
You got-
she insisted on going to the store and getting a cake. Don't
See
let
how
him
she
lie.
he twisted around because she was on here saying, "I'll go get that, dear." Yes, okay.
Oh, whatever.
Of
Shut up.
all the pain and suffering she's gone through,
Yeah.
it just in the last 2 weeks, not along the last
You want some
Yeah,
Father's
you made her
Day.
go get that
15,
cake.
16
I
years
heard
of
it.
marriage, he gonna treat her like that.
That was
My boy
17 years,
Justin.
Dre.
17 years.
Enjoy your Father's Day cake. You made her go.
I still insist
Oh, whatever.
our problem is still 6'2" and 265.
Said you should have got that cake last night. You better go get it now.
Yeah.
She's gone to the shop to get the cake.
Yeah.
Via
Told you, Paul. I ain't afraid to hit an old man. Keep it up.
Hey, Dre, he thinks he
Yes,
can.
sir.
You better be nice to Sarah because she just is following your direction.
Well, maybe we call up Justin Joe and tell him, yeah, your dad was running around saying he was the man of the house. See what he's got to say.
Yeah, don't worry about him.
So you notice he looking down the hall to see if he's standing there. I ain't worried about him.
He's asleep. I ain't worried about him.
Yeah, man. All right, folks.
Okay.
I'll see y'all later on.
All right, we'll see
Later,
you.
Yeah,
guys.
I'll see you guys later.
Joe, check in later.
See you later.
okay?
Later.
And we'll get an update on the cake.
Yeah. Okay,
Bye
later.
for now, everybody.
Later.
Everybody.